Welcome everyone to University of Bradford's Agent Training. Thank you for joining us here today. My name is Julie Rogelio. I'm the Global Engagement Officer. And today we're going to discuss about some basic information, how you can best support your students joining the university. In the next video, we'll be talking about the reasons why we should study at University of Bradford. So one of the most common questions that gets asked is, where is Bradford? So we say Bradford is located at the heart of UK. So as you can see on the map, Bradford is with close proximity to cities like Manchester or London, with 1 hour to 3 hours ride by train. We are also close by from a city called Leeds, which is 20 minutes away from Bradford. So the two airports available for students arriving to Bradford is the Manchester Airport and the Leeds Bradford International Airport. For Manchester Airport, this is our common recommendation for international students because of a lot of flights are arriving there. And we have free airport pickup service for all our international students arriving at Manchester Airport. Now, more about the city of Bradford itself. Why is it a great choice to live in? So it's actually one of the most affordable university city based in 2022 research by comparethemarket.com. And not only is Bradford a metropolitan district, as it is the fourth largest metropolitan district in UK, but it also has one of the largest economy in England. So it means it has a good balance of cash flow and business within the city, which would be a great benefit for students coming into the city. We have a lot of investments, and we also recently won the UK City of Culture for 2025, which means that there is a surplus or an increase of job opportunities from 2023 when Bradford won the bid until 2025. So there's about 10 billion pounds of investment that will be coming into Bradford when it comes to boosting its entertainment, culture, arts, music, theater. And this really means a big opportunity. And this is the perfect time for students to choose Bradford as its city for their city of studying. So this is information that will really help students decide why the university, but also what makes the city unique as a choice. So for the next video, we'll be discussing why should the students study at the University of Bradford. Thank you. When students ask why Bradford, one of the first reasons we provide is that Bradford is a great place to meet and join a global community. We have over 130 different nationalities in the university. And with that, we have ranked first in England for impact on social mobility. This means that the University of Bradford has given the highest potential of support to give our students the success they require, regardless of their academic, cultural, or social background in life. We've also been awarded by the late Queen Elizabeth the Queen's Anniversary Prizes for our award-winning research and contribution in dementia studies and archaeological technology. We're also second in UK for career services. This means that our career services and employability team provide support for students from the beginning of their studies until they reach their graduation. And even after 5 years after their graduation, our team are able to provide them whatever support they require when it comes to their career. We're one of the small handful number of business schools that have been awarded a Triple Crown accreditation, and this is Equus, AMBA, and AACSB. So students can have that confidence that they are having a quality education when it comes to our business schools. The University of Bradford also has been around for more than 50 to 100 years. In fact, we have been founded as the Mechanics Institute in the 18th century. And in 1960, we received our Royal Charter, making us the 40th university in the UK. Our first chancellor was Prime Minister Harold Wilson, and we're also first in the UK for finance office student support. So in Bradford, we do not accept cash payments. We have our Flywire method. So it's just an online payment where you can use, you can make card payment or bank transfers or even e-wallet payments. We're also top three in the UK for satisfaction with accommodation costs, living costs, and value for money. Now, in the next videos, we'll be talking about more in-depth detail when it comes to why Bradford is a good option for students as it is with value for money. And also last is that in we are second in UK for welcome. Contributing to that is the support that we provide for students as soon as they submit their applications until their arrival with a free airport pickup service. And even after they arrive in the university, we are able to provide them with the utmost support. Now, more about in terms of numbers of the university, you can call the university as a mid-sized university with over 13,000 current students, with 21% of those as international students. We have amazing number of staff on ground in the campus, over 1,600, who are able to provide support to the student even when it comes to their academics or even when it comes to their professional services support. As I mentioned, we have over 130 different nationalities and we have over 357 academic staff in the higher education fellowship. Our alumni numbers are with a staggering of 147,000 to now reaching 250,000. And these are students scattered or alumni scattered around the globe, with majority of them are in Middle East and Asia, and a number of them have gone to great places, and we will be talking about more of that in the next video. For the University of Bradford campus, we call it as a city campus. Why? As you can see on the map, it's a very centrally located campus as opposed to other universities wherein you have to travel to different parts of the city. In Bradford, you find all the colleges facilities that a student would require in this area of map. As you can see, it's a lot of greeneries and our accommodation is also available within the campus. And as you can see on the gray area of the map, those are actually opening to the roads, and there's a lot of restaurants lined up along the roads that students can choose from, but there are also restaurants within the university. So there's a lot of space for students to walk around, but also making it easy for them to go from one class or one lab to another. And this is also what makes Bradford a great choice because the transportation cost is significantly lessened in their expenses because of the city campus structure of the University of Bradford. Now, when it comes to our accommodation, we have the Green, which is an award-winning sustainable accommodation in the heart of the campus. If we look back in the slide, it is located at the top right, where you can see on the square where there are gray buildings. Now, the Green is actually one of the first student residential project in the UK to achieve an ACLOD of outstanding because it is made sustainable. There are two options for our accommodations. We have the townhouse or the en-suite apartments that range from 75 to 128 pounds per week. So of course, the difference is that on the townhouse rooms, two rooms will be sharing one toilet. And then on the en-suite apartment, there is an attached bath inside the room. So this is a guaranteed availability for international students. So for example, the student is applying for an undergraduate program. So for the next 3 to 4 years, that is guaranteed for them. So we have also available options for students who would require female-only accommodation or male-only accommodations. And the rent that is mentioned earlier includes the Wi-Fi insurance for personal belongings, and 24-hour security and CCTV in the accommodation and across the campus. So this is our recommended accommodation to all our international students because it really helps them with their budgeting and give them that value for money for their education and their stay in in the University of Bradford. So for our next video, we'll be talking about our campus life. So please stay tuned. When it comes to the university campus life, we have a lot of facilities available for students to just look after their overall well being. We have the sports center, as you can see on the second image, where we have amazing facilities when it comes to swimming pool, gym, climbing wall, and all kinds of team sports facilities. And it only costs £100 per year. So we have over 30 different sports clubs, and all the photos that you see in this slide are actual photos of students enjoying the campus life in the University of Bradford. When it comes to social space, we have the Student Central, which is adjacent to the library and the Student Union, with over 70 different societies for students to join. So there is for sure something that students can relate to when it comes to interest. Last time we went there were students who were having a Korean dance club. There were students who were joining a bread and spread club where they create different bread spread, and it's just different unique interests, but definitely they can find something where they can feel that they belong to, and if not, they're more than welcome to create their own society. So in this student central, as I mentioned, it's a good social space for them when they have free time or they want to lounge with their friends. We have cafes, bars within the student central as well, and our library, which is nearby in the student central, is open 24 hours, and it's only closed during bank holidays. So students have that space and resource to also conduct their studying, or if they require any resource, online or physical resource, that is available in our library. We also have a little music center and theater, despite not having any music related course, just to give students who have interest in entertainment and arts and music have something to celebrate while they are at the University of Bradford. So in our next video, we'll be talking about student support and safety at the University of Bradford. Thank you. So when it comes to students coming into the University of Bradford, they can be assured that they have the utmost support that they can have in regards to whatever they need. So first of all is we have a personal tutor that is available for students who require extra support when it comes to their academics. When it comes to disability and counseling, we have that available as well. And one of the unique student supports that we have is called the My Bradford. So anything under the sun, whether you're opening a new bank account or just asking where it is best to have your lunch or dinner, it's a good place to start. It is located at our main building, and they are also available online. When it comes to visa support, students union, these are supports provided to students as soon as they have applied into the university. And our visa support team is a dedicated team that assists for CAS and any visa issue related information. So we have also wardens in halls of residence so that even in accommodation, there is support for the students. We have a free language student center support. So last time we went, they were teaching Korean and Chinese. So this is for free. We have nursery for those who have family. We have academic skills advice service, those who are needing boosts in their language. And as I mentioned earlier, we have the career and employability services that is available up to 5 years of their graduation, library, IT services, and we have faith services and religious advisors. So for our faith services, we have our quiet hall slash prayer hall inside the campus, so students don't need to go out and search for a mosque or a church, for example. Now, when it comes to safety at the University of Bradford, this is one of our top priorities. So, as mentioned earlier, we have the accommodation available for female only or male only, and we ensure that it is safe and secure with CCTV cameras 24 hours. And the same CCTV cameras are also available throughout the campus. And we have emergency service office located within the campus. And across the area, there are help points available where you can just push a red button so that they will be notified that you require emergency assistance. We also have a dedicated application for you to receive or view any updates that are mentioned across the university. So for our next slide, we'll be talking about graduate employability. Thank you. So one of the reasons that students join the university is because they want to have good employability after they graduate. So this is embedded in the heart and mind of the University of Bradford, and that is why we provide the utmost support in the studying, academics, and improving life students' life chances while they're studying. So this is why we've been ranked the best university in the country for improving students' life chances. And not only that, because we have at least 147,000 alumni across the world, we have gained an extensive network of industry contacts that are linked within locally, regional, and even multinational businesses across all sectors of the global economy. So, for example, we have good ties with NHS in the UK or Morrison's. Also, here in UAE, we have good ties with Emirates. A lot of our alumni, at least 17 senior vice presidents in Emirates are actually alumni of the University of Bradford. And we are also in partnership with Emirates Global Aluminium. We are also in partnership with Johnson's Controls. So these are just a few of the multinational companies that we are in link to. And this keeps our um, partnership and relationship with these companies a good platform for our graduates. So our international graduates take their knowledge and skills into the workplace across the globe, and the places and the companies that I've mentioned are a good proof that our alumni has done this before. 94% of our 2017 graduates found employment or went on to further study within 6 months of graduating. And so this has continued to increase in numbers. And a lot of this is factored into the preparation that comes and is given to students while they're studying and even post their graduation with the Career and Employability Services team. So for our next video, we'll be talking about the faculties of the University of Bradford. Thank you. We have four main faculties at University of Bradford. We have Faculty of Engineering and Digital Technologies, Faculty of Health Studies, Faculty of Life Sciences, and Faculty of Management, Law, and Social Sciences. Despite having 200 plus courses, I wouldn't want to bore you to go over all of that. So we'll just quickly go through the highlights for each of the faculty. So for Faculty of Engineering and Digital Technologies, we have courses in biomedical, electronics, civil, structural, mechanical, energy systems, chemical engineering, computer science. And when it comes to graphic designs, we also have that under media design and technology. Some of the highlights is that we're ranked top 10 in the UK for civil engineering, top 20 in the UK for chemical engineering, and our recent courses that were launched were engineering management and applied computer and AI. So these are two of the up and coming in demand courses in the market. So this is definitely something that students can look out for. When it comes to Faculty of Health Studies, we have an amazing state-of-the-art facilities worth £10 million building. And what's amazing is that the students are experiencing hands-on learning with two fully equipped clinical wards, physiotherapy rooms, movement lab, X-ray suite, MRI suite, and we just recently launched last year a CT scan suite as well. For life sciences, again, these photos are actual students in our facilities. You will find anything related to archaeology, forensic science, optometry, chemistry and biosciences, pharmacy, and medical science, where we're actually top 20 in the UK for pharmacy and pharmacology. And lastly, one of the largest faculty that we have is Faculty of Management, Law, and Social Sciences. This is where you will find all the business courses, law courses, social sciences. So any peace-related course, you will find it in this faculty. As mentioned earlier, our School of Management or our business school is the first and most well-established, respected business school where we're already celebrating 60 plus years established since 1963. We are also part of the 1% of global business schools that are Triple Crown accredited across the globe. That is AACSB, EQUIS, and AMBA. So for our next video, we'll be talking about our Career Booster, which is a unique program for our students. Thank you. One of the aims at the University of Bradford is that we want to future-proof our students. Because of this, we have created a unique employability program for all our students in the university. It's called the Career Booster, wherein it's designed to help students develop essential skills that are in demand in the needs of the business. And this happens twice in an academic year. So once every semester, wherein students can pick and mix their own diet of workshops, seminars, info sessions, virtual meetings with industry leaders or companies that are present in the market. So, for example, we had Google join us last time, and over 1,000 students joined that seminar in regards to their cloud network, and they received the micro badging after that career booster program. We also have knowledge transfer network events and international guest speaker series where we discuss global issues and international research agenda. One of the things that the University of Bradford is proud for is that we are also champions of sustainability. We have joined the COP28 last year here in UAE, and we have addressed some of the sustainable challenges and have involved the youth of today in creating a solution for the future. So some of the things that are amazing when it comes to future proofing our students is that a number of our courses are already embedded with professional accreditation. So some of the logos that you see here are like, for example, SAGE certification, SAS, Amazon Web Services, Bloomberg Finance, CPD. So mostly these are certifications that individuals take after their undergraduate or postgraduate program. But here at the university, these are already embedded into your course, therefore saving you time and money and giving you that edge when it comes to you being employability in your employability. So it has been proven as well that having this professional accreditation um, increases your offer of salary in the future. So this is something to bear in mind for students that in the University of Bradford, you're not only being taught academically, but you're also being future proofed to have the highest potential for your employability. So for our next video, we'll be discussing our foundation program in the University of Bradford. Thank you. For students who do not meet the minimum entry requirements that we have a foundation program in partnership with Oxford International, where students can apply for the level that they are eligible for. So, for example, we have International Foundation, wherein you can go for equivalent of year zero or year one, or we have the International First Year for equivalent to level A. So, these are courses available for students who do not meet the minimum entry requirements for our undergraduate courses. And then for our postgraduate courses, we have the foundation program called International Incorporated Masters. Now, the only thing to bear in mind is that these foundation programs require a UKVI IELTS. And for more information, you can visit the link on the slide to know what is the minimum requirement for the UKVI IELTS for them to pass this program. Now, it is called the University of Bradford International College in partnership with Oxford International. And also, if you are applying for this foundation, you will have to apply directly from the website or on the link provided. And offers are issued directly by Oxford International. So for the next video, we'll be talking about the admission entry requirements for our markets. For English proficiency, we do have a pre-sessional English course available. So this is an in-person pre-sessional course, and this are for students who do not meet the minimum requirements for their course. However, a UKVI IELTS is required. So one of the application tips that we have is that if the student is not too confident in reaching the minimum requirement, we suggest for them to take the UKVI IELTS. So in case they do not meet the minimum score, they can just apply for a pre-sessional. Please take note that the pre-sessional English course is only available for the September intake. So it will not be available for the January 2025. So one of the, among the English tests that we accept are IELTS, TOEFL, PTE, Language Cert, ESOL, CELT B2, PSI, and we have our own test called BASEL. So for our partners who have a large number of students who are interested to take the test, this is free of charge, and you can let us know if you have at least 10 to 15 students. So definitely we are able to assist you in providing this test. Recently, we have also announced that we have 2 online English tests that we will be accepting for September 2024 and January 2025 intakes. And that would be IELTS indicator and Language Cert ESOL B2 communicator version. So for entry requirements, since we have a lot of markets and of course we accept students all over the globe, there are different entry requirements for each country. So what we suggest our partners to do is to visit this link on the slide, click on the country where the student is applying for, and you can see the converted grades that is required for the university. Other documents that we will need are personal statements, CV, work experience, and research proposal or interview for those courses that require for it. So some of the application tip is that we do accept students with gap years, backlogs, corresponding degrees, elongated bachelor degrees, Year 2 entry, and credit transfers. For tuition fees, our affordable tuition fees range from £19,000 to £24,000. And these are before scholarships. And we do have a £5,000 security deposit paid towards the tuition fee as well. So for scholarships, we offer the Global Scholar Award for self-funded students. It ranges from £2,000 to £5,000. So if you click the link below and just choose the student's nationality, you can see how much is the eligibility for the Global Scholar Award. Now, what's amazing is that these scholarships that you see on the screen are automatically applied. They don't need to create a separate application. Once the student applies for this course or the system detects their nationality is eligible for the Global Scholar Award, it will be mentioned in their offer letters. For the Global Scholar Award for undergraduate students, this is applied for every year of their study. For our undergraduate scholarships, we have 50% scholarships. And again, this is applied for every year of the study. And we have £7,500 for our architecture courses. For postgraduate scholarships, we have a range of 5,000 to 7,500 pounds, and these are in peace-related courses in human cytology, archaeology, applied AI, engineering, and renewable and sustainable energy. And these are automatic scholarships that is applied on the offer letter. We have an additional early bird discount of 3% if the student will be paying their full tuition fee payments, and this is in addition to the scholarship if they will be eligible for any of the ones mentioned earlier. We do have other external scholarships that are available on the website for more information. So for our next video, we'll be discussing important information and deadlines to remember. The two intakes available this academic year, which is September 2024 and January 2025. Please see on the screen our deadlines for application, deposit, and CAS documents. Please note that for January 2025, we only accept postgraduate courses and we won't be having undergraduate courses available. So our deposit payment is £5,000 and it is required to confirm the unconditional offer and to make the payment of £5,000 before arranging for a CAS interview or CAS process. It takes about 2 months to process a CAS letter and the visa, so please bear that in mind. So thank you for reaching the end of our University of Bradford agent training. We hope you find the information provided useful when it comes to the Bradford as city, the university, why should students study at the University of Bradford, what are the support that we provide, and our graduate employability. So for more information, please feel free to visit our website. That's www.bradford.ac.uk, or please feel free to reach out to your Apply Board representative for any questions or queries. Thank you again and have a great day.
The biggest highlight was the orientation, my first class, and I met all the lecturers. The way they spoke, they were so open, and I was happy. And then the classes were really good, on time. It was the tests, the assignments, the homeworks were really good. And yeah, I met my future wife in London. Biggest highlight of my life.
My first highlight would be going to Florence on a trip to Pitti Filati and seeing Italy for a start, seeing lots of different yarns, going on a trip with my student peers and spending time with them, being given briefs from industry, so working with actual industry professionals and coming up with designs that they then look at and do crits on and tell you what they think about your work. So you're actually really being prepared to go out into the world.
Here we were encouraged to actually share. I remember like long nights at 2-3 o'clock all together in my house going and studying and get at it till we get it right. And that was like, with this experience we became very close friends.
So I find very calm and quiet atmosphere here, and they all are very friendly. So I always recommend my colleagues to have any course in London Metropolitan University. Thank you.
session all about Edinburgh Napier University. I'm really glad that you're joining me today. My name is Alice. I'm one of the senior international officers here at Edinburgh Napier, and I'm really excited to get to do this training with you. So the first section we're going to cover is a bit about the university and why it's a fantastic place for students to study. In this training, we're going to cover, like I said, why ENU. We're also going to talk a bit about the city of Edinburgh itself and Scotland. We'll delve into some of the courses that are offered here at the university. I'll show you how to navigate our website, as well as our entry requirements, information on scholarships and bursaries, loads of information about our student support and our accommodation as well. Next up, we're going to dive more into why ENU. So why Edinburgh Napier University? Well, you might not have heard of us before, but just to give you a little background, we were founded in 1964 as a technical college and was named after John Napier, who's the inventor of logarithms. We're based in Edinburgh, which is the capital of Scotland, and is known as the country of inventors. So many things were invented here. The university itself was given university status in 1992. We have over 20,000 students from over 150 countries, and around a third of our students are international. We have 5 academic schools spread across 3 campuses in the west side of the city and over 200 programs to choose from. I've listed some of our rankings here. I won't go through everything. If you do want to know more or you have any applicants that would, please do check out our website. We have a full list. However, these are some of the ones we're really, really proud of. So we are the top university in Edinburgh for student satisfaction, and we have been now for the past 5 years in a row. We are now officially a top 500 university according to the Times Higher Education rankings, and we are the top modern university in Scotland. These are universities that were given university status in the UK after 1992. 2 key pillars at the university are employability and entrepreneurship. So we know when students are coming here, obviously their main goal is to get that degree, to get that piece of paper, but it's not all about that. It's also about providing them with the skills to be successful in their career after they have the degree. So 2 of the ways we do this, one is employability. We have our fantastic Student Futures team who are involved in every single one of our programs. They run loads of different sessions to provide students with support in applying for jobs, understanding the jobs market, providing them with those employability skills to get them ready for the world of work after they graduate. And we know that it's working, we know that it's making a difference because we have really, really high graduate employability rates, over 95%. So that's people, that's our students being in employment within 6 months of graduating. On the other side here, entrepreneurship is another really, really key factor. Like we said, Scotland's the country of inventors. We really do have a focus on making sure anyone can pursue their dreams. The business school is home to our Bright Red Triangle, which is our entrepreneurial hub. We've helped over 700 students build their startups so far. And any student at the university can access, whether they're a business student or not. If they have an idea, they can go along, they can get support, they can get mentorship, and we can also even provide an address for their business at the university in order to get things up and running. Next, we're going to look at the location of Edinburgh and why it's a fantastic place to study. Edinburgh is a fantastic place to be a student, and Scotland is a really, really beautiful country to come and complete your studies. It doesn't always get shouted about as much. When people think of the UK, quite often they think of England, but it's actually 4 separate countries. You can see from the map here, the United Kingdom is made up of England, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Scotland. So we're that section up at the top there. Scotland does have a really kind of distinct culture. There's around 5.5 million people here in Scotland, but we seem to make ourselves really well known. No matter where I am in the world, you know, everyone knows Scotland, has heard something about it, generally knows things about, you know, the stereotypical things of haggis, kilts, bagpipes, all that sort of stuff. But there is so much to the country. As you can see from the photograph here, we've got some incredible landscapes. The photos taken up in the Highlands. So anyone that's outdoorsy, there's amazing places to go there, as well as the really beautiful cities, which I'm going to come on to now. So Edinburgh itself, like I said, is the capital city. I'm very, very lucky and feel very privileged to have grown up here in the city. It is one of the best cities in the world, officially, not just me saying that. It was voted so by Time Out magazine in 2022. The centre of the city itself is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So we have Edinburgh Castle right in the centre, which you can see in that top photograph, which actually sits on top of a extinct volcano. One of two in the city. We've got two extinct volcanoes here. And the whole kind of centre of the city, the old town, is really historic and really, really beautiful. Also a really student-friendly city. So we've got over 60,000 students based here in Edinburgh. So it means there's loads of student accommodation, student jobs and student support, as well as just a really good student life as well. So Edinburgh is the second best city in the United Kingdom for student life, just behind London. Where are we within the city? Well, like I mentioned, we have 3 campuses spread out to the west side of the city. Edinburgh's actually not very big, so it doesn't take long at all to get around. And we have a really, really fantastic public transport system, which is really safe, really clean, and really easy to use. So most people in the city, especially if they live near the centre, don't actually have cars. Everyone just uses public transport. So you can see from the map there, our 3 campuses are outlined, as well as our accommodation, and it's not far at all from the centre. So students find it really easy to get around no matter what campus they're based on. We also are not actually that far away in terms of travelling to us. We're really close to a lot of the really big hubs in Europe. So we're less than an hour's flight from London. It's about an hour and a half to Amsterdam, where from those 2 really big hubs, you can get pretty much anywhere in the world. We also have direct flights to Doha for Qatar as well, which makes it really accessible for lots of people. So next, we're going to look in more detail about those 3 campuses that I mentioned. Our first campus is Craiglockhart campus, and this is the home of our business school. It's set in a really, really beautiful part of the city with beautiful gardens and things around the campus. It's very much a mix of the old and the new. So you can see from this photograph, the older side of the campus on the far side has a lot of history. It was a stately home at one point. It was a war hospital during World War I, and it was also then after that a convent. And when we took over in the 1980s, actually there were still nuns that lived and actually worked in our student accommodation when we first moved to the site. They are no longer there. And you can see the big extension that we built onto it as well. On the front of the campus, you can see what is affectionately known as the Egg. It is the iconic 200-seat Lindsay Stewart Lecture Theatre, absolutely stunning inside with really great views over the city. I think personally it looks more like a spaceship, but it does get called the Egg. Second campus is Sighthill. So this is our newest campus. It was fully knocked down and rebuilt and reopened in 2011. And it is the home to our School of Applied Sciences and School of Health and Social Care. So I'll go through the programs that are included in that in a little while, but all of the specialist equipment for those programs is based on this campus. So our sports centres, our bio labs, our nursing program suites, we have all laid out on this campus as well. Third and finally, the campus where I'm broadcasting to you from today, our Merchiston campus. So this is our original and oldest campus. The big building in the centre there is Napier Tower, which is where John Napier was born and lived. And this is very much where we get our name from. So this campus is the home to the School of Arts and Creative Industries and the School of Computing, Engineering and the Built Environment. This campus also houses the 500-seat Jack Kilby Computing Centre, also just known as the Kilby, which is a 24-hour library available to all students throughout semester 1 and semester 2 of the year. So there's a lot of late nights on this campus, students working away for those last-minute submissions. It's also the closest one to the centre of town and to our accommodation, so a lot of students do choose to come and work on this campus, no matter which campus their course is based on. They can use the facilities on any one. Next, we're going to be looking at the programmes in a little bit more detail. So now we're going to go through each of our schools in turn and look at the programmes that are covered in each. So like I mentioned, we've got the 5 academic schools: business, applied sciences, arts and creative industries, computing, engineering and the built environment, and health and social care. Quick side note, the picture here is actually the inside of that egg that I mentioned in our campuses video. So that spaceship looking thing at the front of our Craiglockhart campus, this is the inside, which I think is pretty cool. So first of all, the business school. This covers quite a wide variety of areas you can see listed there. So quite a wide range from things like accounting to law to festival and events to marketing. Edinburgh is really, really well set up for these programmes. We are the financial hub of Scotland, and we also have the largest arts festival in the world here that happens every August. It's actually happening right now because I am recording this in August. So the city is full of people coming to perform, and it makes it a really fantastic place for students to come and complete that sort of course, because we have lots of partnerships with companies that operate things at the festivals. School of Applied Sciences, so this is broken down into 3 main areas. We've got our kind of biosciences, so that's things like animal conservation, pharmaceutical and microbiology. We then have our life sciences, so things like criminology, psychology, and social sciences. And then our sports sciences, so sports coaching, sports and exercise, physical activity. And each of those sections has their own specialist labs and specialist areas of the campus with all the equipment required for any bits of research that students want to complete. Next, our School of Arts and Creative Industries. Again, a really huge school with loads of different programs. So we have full film studios set up, we have a television suite, we have a radio booth, as well as full music studios, design labs, and acting studios as well. Next, the School of Computing, Engineering and the Built Environment. So again, this is a really big school. This actually used to be 2 schools and they combined them into 1. So we have real focus on civil, mechanical and electrical engineering. They're the main areas we focus on there. And we have a massive variety of computing-based programs. They range from cybersecurity to data science to systems engineering, loads of different areas. So really, really wide variety of programs there too. And finally, our School of Health and Social Care. So at bachelor's level, this is pretty much exclusively nursing programs. We have the largest school of nursing in Scotland. So we offer adult nursing, child nursing, and mental health. And then at master's level, we offer a range of other programs such as healthcare and public health, and then also occupational physiotherapy and social work. Next, we're going to be looking at the types of programs offered at the university. So how are Scottish degrees structured? At undergraduate level, there is a bit of a difference between Scotland and other areas in the UK. So in England, Wales and Northern Ireland, a bachelor's degree is only going to be 3 years. However, in Scotland, it is 4 years. This is because we do have a separate education system here. So our high school system runs completely separately. We don't do A-levels, we do something called Scottish Highers, which just run at a slightly different level, meaning that our degrees are 4 years. It does seem weird when you're looking at the UK, but actually internationally, it's a lot more similar to places like Canada, the US, and many other locations who also run 4-year structures. There are many benefits to this as well. It provides breadth and depth in the subject area, as we do have a little bit more time to delve into the subject with students, and does provide a little bit more flexibility as well, because if a student is maybe not quite on the right course in their first year, but there's a similar course that actually suits them better, it's fairly straightforward for us to switch them over during the first year, so they don't have to restart the course all over again. We also include study abroad options and year in industry options within the 4 years of the degree. You do not need to add this in. So like many other areas of the United Kingdom, if you wanted to do that, you would actually have to extend to 4 years. Here you wouldn't, it's part of your 4-year degree. And we do have really high graduation and employment rates from that. At postgraduate level, typically our programs are 1 year. We have a 3-trimester structure, so it's 2 teaching trimesters and then the final research trimester where they do their master's project. If you start with us in September, that would be 12 months. However, a lot of our master's programs also have a January start date. If a student decided to start their master's in January, it would take 18 months, as we do not do teaching over the summer trimester. So they would start in January, do their first semester, have a break over the summer, and then start their second teaching trimester from the September again. And a lot of students actually quite like this structure and actually choose to come and start in January. It gives them a little bit longer here in the UK to be a student as well. And then they can work full time during that summer period because we don't have the 20-hour restriction. We also have a handful of 2-year masters that you can see listed here. And again, these are really, really popular with our international students. For similar reasons that I mentioned to the January start, it does provide that time over the summer where they can work full time or they can travel more around the UK. As I mentioned, there's lots of festivals and things that happen in Edinburgh over the summer. So a lot of our students really love the opportunity to stay, either work or just explore and spend time in the city over that time. Our 2-year masters also have a slightly different pricing structure. So the course fees for a 2-year masters are actually around the same as a 1-year masters, but they're split over the 2 years. So it can spread the cost and make things a little more affordable for some students. So next, we're going to look at actually navigating our website and how to find information on there. So now I'm going to show you how to navigate our website. So on our website, we have a page for each individual course that has a breakdown of what students will study, entry requirements, fees, and all of that information. And we also have a dedicated international section, which I will run through, show you how to find, as well as how to find our country-specific pages when you are looking for any specific entry criteria or support information for international students. So this is our website homepage. As you can probably tell, it's clearing at the minute based on the banner at the top. This week is actually Scottish Higher Results Week, so it's been a very busy week here at the university. But this banner will change quite often through the year with whatever's going on and the big kind of news of the day at the university. There's loads of fantastic information on here, but there's a couple of areas that I am going to highlight to you today. First of all is right up the top here, the banner and the first section, courses. So if you hover over this, you'll see all of our different subject areas that we have, which is a great way to kind of explore our degrees and get a little bit more detail on what we have on offer. But if you have a student, that knows that they want to do business management, for example, you can select that and it will take you to that subject area. So if you scroll down slightly, you'll see some kind of, information about the school, information about some of our top courses, and then you will find the full course list. This box at the top will be how you navigate between undergraduate and postgraduate programs. You can switch between them very, very easily. As you can see, we have a lot of business courses. Some of them are only offered online. You can see that there from the ones that say online learning. So for international students wanting to come and study on campus, you're looking for the ones that say full-time, because you have to be studying full-time to get a visa for the UK, or a student visa, should I say. So we'll take business management just as an example of a course page. So every single one of our programs will have a course page that will look incredibly similar to this. I will scroll down slowly just to show you some of the details. So it will have an overview of the course. It will also outline the start dates. So for our masters, it will show if it has a September and a January start date or just a September one. For undergraduates, only ever going to be September. As you scroll down, there will be more information on the course itself, the modules that you'll study, especially at master's level. They generally have these little drop downs, so you can actually see in a lot of detail what each of the modules covers. And I think that's a really great way for students to take a look and make sure it's the right course for them. How it's assessed as well will also be listed, so the types of assessments that they'll do. Further down, you'll find entry requirements. So generally here, you will see the UK entry requirements. And if you want to look at the international entry requirements, there's a link there to take you through to the country pages, which I'll show you in just a moment. Just underneath here, you're going to have fees and funding. So this is where the fees are going to be listed for all of the programs. And it's the bottom row that you'll be looking for, this overseas and EU students line. So the fees for this course are £18,800 for the full degree for students starting in September 24 and January 25. And then underneath there, there's just a bit of an idea of the careers that a student can go on to with this degree. So there will be a list of some of the types of degrees that our previous students have been on to, have gone on to do. And we have this for every single one of our programs. So that's the course pages in a very quick run through. Like I mentioned, I'm also going to show you how to find the specific country requirements for whatever course your student is from. So you can find that through clicking on this link. It will take you to the international section of our website and specifically the country section. Underneath, you'll see we have them split by region. So if I click on Africa, for example, and I'll click on Botswana, that's right here at the top, there will be entry requirements for both undergraduate and postgraduate listed on here. So as you can see, for Botswana, they would need to complete a pathway program to be considered first year of entry. And for postgraduate, they would need to have one of the following qualifications. We also have the English language details here, and we also have the entry requirements for any of our pathway programs that a student might be interested in. So for this country, that is very relevant as we don't accept the high school qualifications. So you can see the details down there as well. Lots of other information about scholarships, visits in your country. So if we are hopefully traveling over and we're going to be in that country, that would be listed there as well. So those are the two main areas of the website that I would direct you to. There's also lots more information in our international student section. So we have areas such as finding courses, the International Pathway College, which is based here at the Merchiston campus, like I just mentioned, as well as information again on your country, on scholarships, and on visa requirements as well. So visa and international support, lots of information there too. Next, we're going to look at the application basics. So now we're going to look at some of the entry requirements and the documents that we require when submitting an application. Like I mentioned, the entry requirements are on each of the individual course pages, and I've showed you how to navigate to those in the previous video. However, just to recap, on each individual course page, you will see the entry requirements section. If a student has completed UK entry requirements, such as international A-levels and GCSEs, you can use the entry requirements listed on this section of the website. However, if they have completed qualifications from their home country, which most will do, you can find those listed on the country page of the website that I've showed you how to navigate to. The application process will be through UCAS for undergraduate and directly through the website for postgraduate. And in general, the documents that we require is a personal statement, a reference. So if they've been within education within the past 3 years, we would like it to be an academic reference. If they've been out of education for over 3 years, we are happy to accept an employment reference, but it's important for the students to know that. We need a CV, and this needs to be a full and up-to-date CV, because unfortunately that doesn't always happen and it can delay offers. Quite often people always seem to forget to add their current employment to their CV. I understand, I totally get it. I would probably do the same, but please do make sure they've added everything possible when they're sending it in to us. Copies of their qualifications with official translations if required. And the English language, again, if required. We know not all countries do require English language tests, but if they do, or English language evidence, they must submit that as well. And deadlines. So for undergraduates, we do accept applications up until the 30th of June each year for that September. So for September 24, we were accepting applications up until the 30th of June 2024. After that, we go into clearing, and we can potentially make offers in clearing, but it can become quite tricky just with turnaround times and visa processing times. So we do always advise the sooner the better. Same for postgraduate. We don't have any strict application deadlines, but we do, again, advise the sooner the better, because we will put in place deposit deadlines and CAS deadlines, which basically then become the deadlines that people need to meet. So if they know they want to apply, we say apply early. We don't charge for applications, so the sooner they can get them in, the better. Next, we're going to look at tuition fees and scholarships. So here you can see the tuition fees for September 24 and January 25. Our undergraduate fees and postgraduate fees do vary slightly depending on the course. Lab-based programs that have a lot of materials involved do have a slightly higher price tag than others, but there's not too much variation here. The postgraduate fees are ones I'll highlight just in terms of those 2-year masters. A lot of them tend to be around 20 to 21,000, but it gets split at around 10 to 11,000 per year, depending on the program. For all other ones, it's as listed here per year of the course. In terms of payments, we do not expect them to pay their entire fee upfront or in one go. We do have a deposit of £6,000, which all international students have to pay. But after that, they can choose which payment plan they would like to go for in terms of paying the remainder of their fees. They can either pay through one installment, they can pay it all in one go at the beginning, or they can choose our 2, 3, or 6 payment plan options. And you can see some of the dates for September start listed there. I also just want to highlight here that we do have a very new pathway college through Oxford International that was set up in January of 2024. That was when we had our first intake. And like I mentioned previously, it's based here on our Merchiston campus. So if any of the students don't meet the entry requirements for any of our other courses, you can take a look at the pathway options for them. So we have pathways into both our bachelor's and our master's courses. And finally, just to highlight on scholarships, we do not have any fully funded scholarships, I'm afraid. We do have smaller partial funded scholarships that generally are around £2,000, and they are based on their country of domicile rather than their nationality. That does tend to catch people out sometimes, so we do like to highlight it. They are limited availability, and they're done on a first come, first served basis. So once a student has paid their deposit, if we still have funding available, they will automatically be awarded a scholarship. Once the scholarships for that region are gone, they're gone, and we can't offer any more. So again, another reason that we advise students to get their applications in early, because it gives them more chance to access some of these things. And also just to highlight that these are available for undergraduate and our 1-year master's programs. Unfortunately, they're not eligible if they're coming for a 2-year master's. Because of that kind of preferential pricing structure, we want to give as many students support as possible. Next, we're going to go on to look at some of the student support services available. So now we're going to look at all the student support on offer at the university. As you can see from the list here, we have an extensive amount of support available to students, and that's something we take really great pride in. So I'm going to run through these in turn. First of all, our visa and international support team, they're actually part of our wider department, and they're based in the same office as us out at our Sighthill campus. So they're the ones that are responsible for issuing all of the CAS letters to students. They also provide immigration and visa advice. They're all fully qualified, trained visa counsellors. And they also provide support for students once they are in country as well. So if students are having any issues, not just around their visas, but any kind of issues in attending classes, or if they just need some more support, it's a really great place for them to go. They are available on campus Monday to Friday, so they can always drop in as well as arranging appointments. From the academic side, every single student is assigned a personal development tutor. This will be one of the academics on their course, and they are there to support them with anything they need throughout the course of their degree. We always suggest students arrange a meeting with them during their first few weeks, just to kind of meet them face-to-face or online if they don't have time, just to kind of get to know them a little bit. So if they do have anything they need, if they needed extensions or extra support on an assignment, they know who they can go to. Student Futures, I highlighted in a previous video all of the work that they do, but they have lots of interactive sessions that students can join. They run mock interviews, they run CV writing sessions that students can attend, as well as kind of career guidance and coaching, and help with applying for jobs as well. We also have English for academic purposes teams. So we fully appreciate that, it can be difficult when English isn't your first language to understand some of the terminology around academia. So if students are having any issues, if they need any support, our English team are there, as well as our academic skills team. It can be quite a tough transition from the learning style in their home country to the learning style in the UK. So the academic skills team run workshops on essay writing, referencing, as well as one-to-one drop-ins that students can sign up and go to. Wellbeing and inclusion is another really important team at the university. So students, everyone needs support sometimes with their physical and mental health. So that wellbeing team is there to support them. They have a hotline that can be called 24/7, as well as any kind of maybe additional support if there's any physical or learning disability needs that maybe need a bit more attention and a bit more support. That team are there to help. We also have our faith, spirituality and chaplaincy teams and our iPoint teams, which are receptions on campus that students can go to Monday to Friday, any day, to get that quick support. Finally, ENSA. ENSA is the Edinburgh Napier Student Association. It has 4 main sections. So we have the ENSA societies and sports teams. You can see in the background of that photo, some of them. They do change each year because new students will come in and create new create new societies. We also have ENSA representation, which is generally 2 students from each year of each course that are the program reps. They will attend student council meetings and program meetings to put the student voice across. We also have a fully impartial ENSA advice service. So if there's anything at all that students need support with that they don't feel comfortable coming to anyone at the university about, they can go to ENSA and get that fully impartial, fully separate advice. I also always like to highlight that our ENSA president has been one of our international students for the past 3 or 4 years now. So we have international representation right at the top of our student association, and that's something that I really love. Next, I'm going to look at our accommodation. Study is a really big decision. We have 2 options available. You can either stay in our university accommodation, which is very close to all of our campuses, or you can look at private accommodation. For undergraduate students, we guarantee them a space in our student accommodation in their first year. And it is generally what we advise, especially for students that are straight out of high school and are already adjusting, to kind of adult life. We do highly recommend staying in our accommodation. However, like I said, it is not compulsory. Our rooms range in size. Some of them will have ensuite bathrooms. I think the majority do now. However, there are a few still that have a shared bathroom. All of our accommodation are set out like individual flats. They will have between 5 and 8 bedrooms in a flat, with then a shared living room and kitchen area. Like I said, they do vary in size. The rooms also vary. There are some larger rooms, some slightly smaller ones, and we do have a very small number of twin rooms that are very, very much what you see in the kind of American style dorm rooms. We don't have many of those. Some students really like them. Some people really wouldn't want those. So it does kind of, very much depend on the individual preference. And our rooms range slightly in price, but they're starting from roughly £189 per week. That includes all of their heating and electricity bills and their Wi-Fi, and their council tax as well. So there's no other bills to go on top of that. If students don't want to stay in our accommodation, they absolutely can look at private accommodation. And we do have a private accommodation team that can provide them with support in, what areas of the city to look in, what to watch out for in landlord agreements to make sure it's a legitimate landlord. They can advise on certain letting agencies. We can't give any solid recommendations, but they have a list that students have worked with before and had good experiences with that they can provide. And there's a whole section on our website about private accommodation. So please do check that out and reach out to the team if you need any help. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end and watching all of the videos. I hope you found them really helpful and informative. And if there's anything else you want to know, I always suggest going to the website. Everything I've covered today is listed on there. So please do take a look. And if you do need any other support, the university is always here. We're happy to help. Our international department are very friendly and here to help with any questions you have. So some of the key takeaways I hope you've got from today is the really incredible location we have here of Edinburgh, the really beautiful city and surroundings of our campuses, our really high-tech and state-of-the-art facilities, and just the friendly and supportive nature of the university. So I really do believe that it's a fantastic place for students to come and complete their studies. Thank you again, and we hope that we'll be hearing from you soon.
To this online University of Dundee training session. It's my great pleasure to be your host. I am Matthew. I am a Senior International Officer and the Regional Lead for the Americas, for the Middle East, North Africa, and for Europe. So I cover a lot of things at Dundee, hence why I've been asked to do this training session with you. We're going to be covering lots of things. I'll give you a general introduction to the university. I will tell you about our programs, our tuition fees, our scholarships, where Dundee is, and what's so wonderful about it. Hopefully everyone can understand me. I have quite a thick Scottish accent, so hopefully I'm intelligible and you can make out what I'm saying. Please do stick with us. Thank you so much for tuning into this training, and we hope you learn a lot, but we'll just get started right away. Hello everyone, we're going to be talking in this short video a little bit about why you would want to study in Scotland and specifically what the University of Dundee is like, to give you a brief introduction of who we are and what we represent. Now, before we can talk about how great Dundee is, I just want to talk about what a wonderful study destination Scotland is. So Scotland's universities, and Dundee of course is in Scotland, as we will discuss. They have a world-renowned reputation for excellent research, for excellent graduate prospects, for flexible degree programs, and for outdoor activities and outdoor learning. So Some of Scotland's universities are the very best in the world for research, particularly at the University of Dundee. We have a very important research programme where we have created a longer lasting ice cream, Your Welcome World. We also do world-renowned research into malaria, into drug discovery. We have a collaboration with CERN, the people with the Large Hadron Collider. Dundee very much at the heart of that Scottish-focused research initiative that kind of pervades Scottish higher education. A crucial thing I need to note, many international students, when they come to Scotland, they think that it's going to be very, very cold and very wet. I've never met an international student who doesn't think that. And we just want to emphasize as much as possible in these training sessions that the weather in Scotland is actually quite pleasant. It is very temperate. It is very rarely too warm or too cold. We get a little bit of snow in the winter time, but usually it's a very kind of temperate climate, somewhere right in the middle of comfortable. It's rarely too warm or too cold, and we really want to make sure that international students who are coming to study in Scotland know that about us. Now, specifically, where is Dundee in the UK? We've marked on this map in red. For those who are maybe not familiar with us yet, you can see where we are situated. So Dundee actually does have its own airport. Sadly, it is not an international airport, but there are flights a few times a week from Dundee's airport to other places in the UK. So you can fly from Dundee to London Heathrow. So if there are students who are arriving in London, they can fly from Heathrow to Dundee, which is very exciting. There's also a train which takes Dundee all the way down and connects it with London. That train runs several times a day, and it's about a 5.5 to 6 hour train ride. We're also connected with other places in Scotland. Bigger cities like Glasgow and Edinburgh are only an hour away. So for a relatively small city located on the east coast of Scotland, Dundee is actually remarkably well connected. I'm also going to emphasize this. Dundee is statistically the sunniest city in Scotland. It's a very temperate, very pleasant climate. Like I said, occasionally snow in winter, but because of where we are situated right on the Tay River Basin, it's very difficult for rain to form over the city, and so we are mathematically the sunniest place in Scotland. It's a very pleasant environment for students. There's lots of nature near the city. There are many parks and green spaces, and that absolutely gorgeous Scottish countryside is just outside of the city. Obviously, I am biased, but I think Scotland is the most beautiful country anywhere in the world, and anyone who says otherwise is a liar. But it means that students who are interested in those outdoor activities like walking, hiking, mountain biking, kayaking, camping, Dundee's a really good place to base themselves. Now, we know that the cost of living is of a lot of importance to students, particularly in recent years. Dundee, even for a Scottish city, is much cheaper than the UK average. So Scotland, in general, is a bit cheaper than England, Wales, or Northern Ireland, and Dundee is cheap even by Scottish standards. So we recommend as a university that students budget for about £800 to £900 a month for living expenses, not including their rent. And we'll put an estimate on the slide as to the kind of rough cost of living that we as a university would advise students to prepare for. As you can see, it's dramatically lower than big cities in the UK like Liverpool or Manchester or London. Now, we've done a little bit of calculating here at Dundee, and we think that rent accommodation in Dundee is approximately 15% lower than the UK average. That's quite a substantial margin. And our accommodation is very competitively priced. So if a student wants to live in the University of Dundee's halls of residence, you can see our pricing structure there. So we think roughly, depending on what accommodation the student lives in, it'll cost approximately £210 per week or £840 per month. That sum is inclusive of all the students' bills, their Wi-Fi, so their gas, their electricity. All of that is included in the cost if they come and stay in Dundee's halls of residence. For comparison, it's very cheap and easy to find private accommodation in Dundee, and we put a little bit of a breakdown as to the average cost of a one-bedroom apartment, a two-bedroom apartment, or a three-bedroom apartment if a student wanted to live privately in Dundee. So that's just a bit it for me, I think, folks, in this slide. A brief introduction to the city, where it's located, and the cost of living in Dundee. I will see you in the next video, but if you want to just click on the next slide, there was an automated video that gives you a little bit of an introduction to our campus using an aerial drone. It's very exciting. I will see you in a video or two. Take care.
Did you know that Dundee is the birthplace of Marmalade and the RRS Discovery, the ship that carried Captain Scott to Antarctica? Join us as we delve into the best things to do in Dundee, Scotland. Number 11. Dundee Old Town. Discover the irresistible charm of Dundee Old Town, where history and vitality collide in a delightful fusion. As you wander through its storied districts, you'll find yourself immersed in tales of a bygone era. Marvel at the maritime wonders that transport you back in time, and don't forget to climb Dundee Law for panoramic vistas that will take your breath away. But Dundee Old Town isn't just about its fascinating past. Make sure to visit the iconic V&A Dundee, the town's iconic design museum. And while you're here, treat your taste buds to the tantalizing flavors of the famous Dundee cake. For the creatively inclined, Metal Mill Studios offer a haven of artistic inspiration where workshops buzz with passion and creativity. And don't miss the chance to explore the textile legacy of Dundee at Verdant Works, where traditional jute mills still weave their magic. Number 10. HMS Unicorn. Get ready to be awestruck by the maritime heritage of Scotland at HMS Unicorn. Gracefully positioned at Victoria Dock on Dundee's bustling waterfront, this extraordinary naval wonder is truly remarkable, ranked among the world's 6 preserved historic ships and proudly hailed as Scotland's oldest vessel. Imagine stepping aboard the architectural marvel that is Her Majesty's Ship Unicorn, a time-traveling adventure awaiting your arrival. Since its arrival in Dundee in November 1873, this ship has carried countless stories of shipbuilding heritage and Scottish history within its sturdy decks. Today, it stands as a beacon of nautical tourism, offering a captivating glimpse into Royal Navy life and naval history that will leave you spellbound. Number 9. The McManus. The McManus, Dundee's art gallery and museum, offers more than meets the eye. The magnificent Victorian Gothic building holds a wealth of art, history, and environmental knowledge within its 8 absorbing galleries. Immerse yourself in the depths of Scottish history as you explore the exhibits that highlight Dundee's vibrant cultural attractions. For a deeper understanding, join one of the guided museum tours and delve into the massive collection of artworks on display. What makes the McManus truly special is its ever-changing appeal. Each year, it holds a variety of new exhibitions and events that keep visitors coming back for more. If you're feeling inspired, try your hand at interactive art activities that let your creativity soar. Number 8. Dundee Museum of Transportation. Dundee Museum of Transportation is an incredible place for those interested in the city's transport history. Explore this popular museum's vast collection, which includes cars, bikes, an airplane, and even a fire engine. Enjoy the interactive displays and hands-on experiences which allow you to truly delve into Scotland's transportation heritage. While you're there, uncover the gripping stories behind Dundee's tram network, railway system, and maritime past. Located in Market Mews, this museum offers an authentic cultural experience that educates and inspires visitors. Admire the intriguing exhibits and gain a deeper understanding of the city's role in shaping Scotland's transportation legacy. Number 7. Brodie Castle Museum. Brodie Castle Museum is a true treasure trove of history. Situated along the serene River Tay in Brodie Ferry, this ancient castle beckons you to explore its alluring past. Built around 1495, the castle has seen it all and now operates under the care of Leisure and Culture Dundee. Once inside, you'll love the enthralling exhibits that unveil the interesting stories of Brodie Ferry's people and the local environment. By the way, check the links in the description for recommended tour operators that will enhance your Dundee experience and save you valuable time and effort. Number 6. Camperdown Wildlife Center. Nestled within the picturesque Camperdown Country Park, the Camperdown Wildlife Center is a perfect spot for nature enthusiasts and families seeking a thrilling experience. Hosting more than 50 species of animals, birds, and reptiles, some of which face extinction in the wild, this sanctuary provides a unique chance to connect with this wildlife. As you wander along the park's nature trails or engage in outdoor activities, don't miss the chance to spot adorable red squirrels, a crowd favorite attraction. The center also actively contributes to conservation and research, safeguarding the future of endangered species. Number 5. Discovery Point and the RRS Discovery. Experience the wonders of Discovery Point, where you can delve into the city's rich maritime history and extraordinary Antarctic exploration. The star attraction is the RRS Discovery, a splendid steamship from 1901 designed for scientific expeditions to Antarctica. Climb aboard this bark-rigged vessel and you'll be whisked away to a time of fearless adventurers and groundbreaking discoveries. Engage with interactive displays showcasing authentic artifacts from the ship's crew and be enthralled by gripping audiovisual presentations that bring the RRS Discovery story to life. Make sure not to miss the brand new edition called the Discovery Dome, an awesome 360 view experience that allows you to fully enjoy Dundee's fascinating past. Number 4. Verdant Works Jute Mill. Visit Verdant Works and delve into Dundee's industrial past. Located in the Blackness area, this converted jute mill turned museum showcases the city's significant role in the global jute industry. Back in its heyday, the mills employed around 50,000 people, making it an integral part of Dundee's history. As you step inside, marvel at interactive displays that shed light on the lives of the mill workers. From the work conditions to the innovations that shaped the industry, there's plenty to discover. For a truly unique experience, try your hand at making jute rope. This place is perfect for anyone exploring this vibrant city and seeking a deeper understanding of its textile heritage. Number 3. V&A Dundee. V&A Dundee is a design museum like no other. It stands as a testament to Scottish creativity, featuring a diverse collection of global design influences. The museum is an integral part of a £1 billion waterfront transformation project. Inside, you'll love the artistry on display and the rich cultural experience it offers. As Scotland's inaugural design museum, it attracts art enthusiasts and travelers from around the world. The exhibits will ignite your creative spark and envelop you in breathtaking ways. It's the perfect chance to embrace the wonders of design in all its splendor and be inspired like never before. Number 2. Glamis Castle. Step into Glamis Castle and go on an incredible journey through 600 years of history. Discover the majestic architecture and grand rooms while on a guided tour, which allows you to learn more about the castle's alluring past. And it's not just the castle that will take your breath away. The enchanting gardens that envelop Glamis Castle are a sight to behold. Stroll through these beautiful landscapes, adding a touch of serenity to your visit. Don't miss the chance to discover the secrets and stories woven into the very fabric of this iconic location. From royal residence to thrilling anecdotes, Glamis Castle has it all. Number 1. Mills Observatory Dundee. Your Dundee adventure might be incomplete without a magical evening of stargazing at the Mills Observatory. Seriously, it's an experience you won't want to miss. As the UK's first ever public astronomical observatory, it's full of historical significance and wonder. Climb up Balgary Hill and you'll be greeted by jaw-dropping panoramic views that set the stage for an unforgettable celestial show. And guess what? It won't cost you a penny to enter this fantastic spot. Picture yourself peering through their state-of-the-art telescope that can spot a whopping 30,000 celestial objects. From distant stars to otherworldly planets, you'll be lost in the vastness of the cosmos. The fun doesn't stop there. The observatory hosts free stargazing events where you'll be guided by their knowledgeable staff. They'll regale you with intriguing stories about the universe, making your journey through space even more captivating. Click here for more things to do in Scotland. Enter the realm of Scottish legends in Inverness, a city steeped in mystique and tales of the Loch Ness Monster. Here are the best things to do in Inverness, Scotland. Number 11. Inverness Castle. Start your Inverness adventure by visiting Inverness Castle. Nestled in the heart of the city, this 19th century beauty offers an irresistible blend of history and natural beauty. It offers a perfect chance to enjoy stunning views over River Ness and the bustling city center from this scenic vantage point. No wonder this place remains a sought-after attraction for most tourists. Walking through its beautiful castle grounds is like a journey back in time. Although currently closed for public entry, you can still admire its imposing structure and manicured gardens from the outside. What's more, the castle also holds a Macbeth connection that adds to its unique charm. And take advantage of guided tours and informative displays to delve deeper into its rich history. Number 10. Inverness Cathedral. Visit Inverness Cathedral during your time in Inverness and you won't be disappointed. This remarkable cathedral, situated on the west bank of the River Ness, holds more than just religious value. It's a symbol of Scottish heritage. Dedicated to St. Andrew, the patron saint of Scotland, the cathedral's Gothic architecture, designed by Alexander Ross, will captivate architectural enthusiasts. Marvel at the intricate details inside, enjoy the scenic views of the river, and soak in the tranquil atmosphere of its surroundings. As one of Scotland's earliest post-Reformation cathedrals, it carries immense religious symbolism and cultural significance. Number 9. Victorian Market. Victorian Market offers a unique way to experience the vibrant culture of Inverness. Housed within an ornate Victorian-style building with a glass roof, this covered market provides an exceptional shopping experience. Explore a colorful array of independent shops, cafes, and services that cater to all tastes. Wander through the late 19th century shopping arcade and marvel at its richly decorated architecture, a testament to Inverness's enduring heritage as one of Scotland's most remarkable cities. Embrace the chance to unearth unique souvenirs, taste local treats, and enjoy the historic atmosphere. The market's charm lies not only in its shopping delights, but also in the palpable sense of history and community. Number 8. Leakey's Bookshop. Step into Leakey's Bookshop and get ready for a literary adventure like no other. Imagine wandering through a real-life treasure trove of books, surrounded by the history of this exciting spot that dates back to 1979. Housed in a magnificent old Gaelic church on Church Street, this place has a story of its own. As a book lover or collector, you will appreciate every minute spent here. With a whopping 100,000 volumes to explore, you'll find everything from vintage gems to rare editions and even antique maps and prints. It's like a playground for readers. And the best part? It's not just only old books. Leakey's Bookshop buys and sells modern ones too, so there's something for everyone. Plus, they've got a cozy cafe shop right inside. Number 7. Culloden Battlefield. Culloden Battlefield holds a special place in Scottish history, making it an essential stop for history enthusiasts. The moorland witnessed the final dramatic clash of the Jacobite Rising in 1745, making it a deeply emotional experience for visitors. Delve into the past at the Culloden Visitor Center, where engaging artifacts from both sides of the battle bring history to life through captivating exhibits. As you tour the battlefield, you'll come across clan graves and solemn memorial cairn, serving as poignant reminders of the lives lost. Also uncover the ancestral connections and embrace the Highlander lore that shaped this significant chapter in Scotland's heritage. Number 6. Fort George Inverness. Welcome to Fort George, a place that should definitely be on your itinerary. This historical fortress, built after the Battle of Culloden, is a true architectural marvel. Designed by Lieutenant General William Skinner, it stands tall as Britain's mightiest artillery fortification. When in Fort George, make sure to explore the main rampart and soak in the hair-raising panoramic views from Moray Firth and the Black Isle. Don't miss a chance to step into the Grand Magazine and historic barracks, where you can get a sense of the soldiers' lives during that time. To delve deeper into the fort's alluring history, take advantage of the guided tours available. You'll gain insights into the military strategies employed and the significance of this stronghold in King George II's army. By the way, check the links in the description for recommended tour operators that will enhance your Inverness experience and save you valuable time and effort. Number 5. Clava Cairns. Located amidst the majestic landscapes of Inverness, the engrossing Clava Cairns beckons you to envelop yourself in its ancient allure. Over 4,000 years old, this prehistoric wonder transports visitors back in time, offering a glimpse into the rich history of Highland Scotland. The impeccably preserved burial cairns exude an enigmatic allure, attracting travelers and leaving them spellbound by the echoes of the past. Strolling among these time-worn stones, you can't help but feel the weight of history on your shoulders. Beyond its historical significance, Clava Cairns also boasts a mesmerizing setting, perfect for tranquil walks and soulful reflections. The lush green surroundings and peaceful ambience make it an ideal spot to recharge and connect with nature. Number 4. River Ness and Ness Islands. For a delightful adventure, take a relaxed stroll along the picturesque River Ness and visit the enchanting Ness Islands. Just a 10-minute walk from Inverness city center, these islands are a tranquil oasis amidst flowing waters. Connected by charming walking paths, exploring the Ness Islands offers adorable scenic views and a chance to spot seals and other wildlife. As you wander through this idyllic landscape, ensure to learn about Inverness's rich history and its intriguing mythical past. Don't miss nearby attractions like Inverness Botanic Gardens with their own unique charm. Explore the vibrant flowers and plants while embracing the serene atmosphere. Number 3. Cawdor Castle and Gardens. Cawdor Castle and Gardens, located just a 25-minute drive away from Inverness, is perfect for those captivated by Scottish heritage and picturesque landscapes. This top-notch attraction goes beyond the regular castle tour, offering a gripping journey into history, gardens, and architecture. The grounds, meticulously kept, boasting 3 enchanting gardens: the 17th century walled garden, the 18th century flower garden, and the wild garden. As you stroll through these attractive gardens, you'll be transported to a bygone era, all while relishing the scenic vistas of the Scottish countryside. But that's not all. The castle itself has an intriguing connection to Shakespeare's Macbeth, adding an extra layer of allure. Number 2. Loch Ness and Urquhart Castle. Looking for another thrilling adventure away from Inverness? Head to Loch Ness and Urquhart Castle, 2 fantastic attractions steeped in Scottish folklore and stories. Enjoy the natural beauty of Scotland as you journey through picturesque landscapes en route to these historical gems. Loch Ness, known worldwide for its mysterious creature, offers more than just the potential to spot Nessie. The stunning vistas that stretch out before you will leave you awestruck, providing the perfect backdrop for your exploration of Urquhart Castle. This ancient fortress, nestled on the loch's edge, offers a glimpse into past eras and rewards you with sweeping wide views of Loch Ness and the majestic Scottish Highlands. Number 1. Inverness Highland Games. Get a taste of Scottish culture by attending the iconic Inverness Highland Games. Held at Bute Park in July, these highly anticipated games attract over 7,000 people each year. Witness exhilarating displays of athletic events, showcasing the strength and skills of Highland clans in caber tossing, hammer throwing, and tug of war. It's no wonder they are considered one of the best things to do in Inverness. But that's not all. You'll also be treated to the lively beats of traditional Scottish music and impressive dance performances. Don't forget to indulge in mouth-watering Scottish delicacies while exploring the event. This family-friendly gathering offers interactive activities for all ages, giving you a chance to try your hand at some of the traditional games while wearing lovely kilts. Click here for more things to do in Scotland.
Hello everyone, you're back with Matthew here at the University of Dundee, and on this slide I'm just going to tell you a little bit about our campus, give you again an introduction to the university and tell you what starts to make Dundee so interesting and so exciting as a prospect for international students. So the first thing you should know about us is that we are a medium-sized university. We're not too big, we're not too small, we like to think that we are perfectly sized, and with about 17,500 students by UK standards, we are very much a medium-sized university. So to give you a little bit of context, the biggest university in Scotland is Edinburgh. They have about 40,000 students. And the smallest university in Scotland is either Abertay or Queen Margaret University, which only has maybe 4,000 or 5,000 students. So with 17,500, we think that we are big enough to be vibrant and international and multicultural and interesting, but not so huge that students are going to be lost amongst tens of thousands of other students. We are very proud of the fact that we are a city campus. So we are located right in the heart of the city centre of Dundee. Dundee is quite a historic city. It's existed for almost 1,000 years. There's been a settlement there on the banks of the River Tay, but it is a very small city. So there are only around 150,000 people that live in Dundee. And according to the Lonely Planet, Dundee has the highest concentration of students per head of capita of any city in the UK. That means in terms of student societies, in terms of student culture, student comedy, student events, it's really easy to get involved. And we are used to welcoming international students from all over the world. In fact, about 20% of our student population are from outside of the UK. So not only are we very small, we're very international, we're very close-knit. And because our students make up such a large demographic of the city of Dundee, it's exceptionally easy for them to integrate and make the most of living in this small, very student-friendly city. Now, the second part of being a campus university is that we are a campus. So there's a really good sense of student community. Everything is together in one place. Our halls of residence, our lecture theatres, our laboratories, our dental hospital, All of it is concentrated in a small area. It's very easy to get from one side of the campus to the other. And there's a nice sense of it being, like I said, a student village with everyone in one environment. To this end, we actually have an award-winning student union. So I believe for 5 or 6 years in a row, we are voted the best student union in Scotland. The student union is the heart of student activity on campus. It's where all of our clubs and societies are based. It's a social space. It is effectively a hub for students and the place where they can go to for support, to enjoy themselves, to socialise. And for 5 or 6 years in a row, it was voted the best of its kind in Scotland. Now, a little bit more about the city of Dundee. I've already spoken in previous videos how well connected the city is and how close we are to nature. Lots of our clubs and societies at Dundee involve walking or hiking, taking advantage of that green space. A brief note on the history of the university. So we began life as a university college of the University of St Andrews. So St Andrews is one of the oldest universities anywhere in the English-speaking world, and we're really proud of that historic connection that we have with them. But then about 50 years ago, we broke off from St Andrews. We gained our independence as a university. So we have the best of both worlds. We retain that ancient academic lineage, that heritage, and our own modern, more innovative research methods that we've developed on our own terms over the last 50 years or so. So we have a very unique feel. We are simultaneously very old and very young at the same time by university standards. That's about all for this video, folks. I will, again, thank you very much for listening, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. In this video, we're going to give a very brief overview of our academic programs, really getting into the meat and bones of what makes us a university and the many, many degrees at undergraduate and postgraduate level that we offer. So as you can see, we have a range of academic schools covering art and design, business, dentistry, humanities, social sciences and law, health sciences, life sciences, medicine, science and engineering, and actually quite a lot more that are not captured on the slide. What you should take from this is that we offer, I believe, 250 different undergraduate degree courses and nearly 200 postgraduate programs. So even though we are a medium-sized university, we have a very broad portfolio of courses, and the students that you're engaging with, no matter what it is they want to study, we probably offer some version of it. So I will not waste any more time. I will get right on and talk in the next video about our School of Art and Design. I will see you in that next video. Take care. Hello, in this video I'm going to cover our School of Art and Design. So it's based in Duncan of Jordanstone College of Art and Design. It was previously an independent art and design college that was absorbed by the university, and now we use it as the hub of all things creative, all things artistic on campus. It's a truly remarkable place. It wins lots of accolades. One of our professors was telling me recently that our students win more prizes for their artwork than any other institution in Scotland, which is very gratifying. And once per year, we turn the entire art and design school into a large gallery space during the degree show, where students showcase their artwork. Some of the art goes for tens of thousands of pounds because people buy it directly from the degree show. The most impressive thing I've seen at the degree show was a young lady who created a horse sculpture. It was a 20-foot horse made out of solid metal. It was incredibly impressive. It's amazing what our art students can produce. And hopefully you'll be able to encourage your students to apply to Duncan of Jordanstone College of Art and Design within the university. So at undergraduate level, we have a host of subjects available. You can see them arrayed on the slide, from animation to urban planning, textiles, product design, illustration. Crucially, the unique selling point of Dundee's undergraduate degree for art and design is that in the first year of the 4-year degree program, students study all the kinds of art and design that we offer. So in their first year of 4, they study everything. They sample the kinds of art and design they would like to study, and thereafter they specialize in the kind of art and design they are most interested in. So first year they study everything. Thereafter they focus on one element of art and design, which is their strongest area. Lots of our specialisms can be carried forward to postgraduate level. So as you can see, most of the undergraduate subjects have an equivalent at postgraduate taught level. Some really interesting ones. We have one of the world's only comics and graphic novel courses. We were the first university ever in the world to appoint a chair of comics and graphic novels. We're very, very distinctive in that area. We also have design for business, which is a bit more corporate orientated aspect of art and design. And we have courses in forensic and medical art, which are unique in Scotland. Very few places will allow you to study that. And it's a course which is particularly distinctive here at Dundee. That's a kind of very broad overview. We'll move on very quickly to our next slide where I hope to see you, but take care and see you in the next video. Hello again. On this video, we're going to discuss our School of Business. So the first thing to note is that the University of Dundee has one of the oldest business schools in the UK. We are one of the first universities to recognise that business was an academic discipline and it deserved to be studied at university level. Now, most degrees at Dundee are flexible, but the business courses are doubly flexible. So they're extremely easy to navigate, where students can pick and choose modules from different kinds of business, both at undergraduate and at postgraduate level as well. So we offer, as is standard in Scotland, a variety of 4-year degrees at undergraduate level for accountancy, business management, economics with various specialisms. And we also offer shorter 3-year business degrees for students who want to just come and study for 3 years, get their degree, and then go off into the world of business. At postgraduate level, there are even more options with a variety of specialisms in marketing, management, finance, banking. But the crucial thing to note is that at both undergraduate and postgraduate level, students can basically choose modules from across the spectrum of business courses and construct their own business degree with the modules that they are most interested in studying. So extremely flexible is the unique selling point I really want to drive home for our business degrees and associated programs. Included in this, all of our business courses have the option of an internship at some point in the undergraduate and or postgraduate study. So often those are paid internships where students can make a little bit of money for their work. It's organised through our partners, Pagoda Projects, and it means that every student gets hands-on experience offered to them as part of their business degree. Again, really strong set of programs, a lot of variety, and that's a brief overview of the types of courses that we can offer within the School of Business. That's it for this video, but I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Hello, in this video, I'm going to talk about Dundee's School of Dentistry, and it's a very easy video because it's a very easy school to talk about. We do exceptionally well for dentistry. We are one of the best universities, not just in the UK, but in the world for dentistry. So you can see some of our rankings on that slide, but the thing you really need to know, we have a truly exceptional dental program, and it's recognized in various accolades. If you check out our website, you will see lots of awards plastered all over the website for just how good we are at dentistry. There are various reasons for that, but one of the reasons is actually demonstrated in this slide. We are pioneers of what's called phantom head technology, where our dental students, both at undergraduate and postgraduate level, have access to phantom heads. You can see that this young lady in the slide is working on one. They're effectively incredibly advanced CPR dummies. They're a facsimile or an approximation of a human head that allow our students to actually work on the best version of human teeth and a human mouth without actually letting them loose on unsuspecting members of the public before they are ready. So it's a really advanced technology that we use, these phantom heads that are used at undergraduate and at postgraduate level as well to enhance our teaching. Now, we offer quite a small suite of dental courses. So we offer oral health sciences, which is the equivalent of kind of dental nursing, and dental surgery at undergraduate level. That's the course that would allow a student to ultimately qualify and work and pursue a career as a dentist. We have quite a small undergraduate dentist program. So there are about 60 spaces available each academic year. That means that it's very close-knit and it's fully integrated into our dental hospital, which is on campus. So all of our dentistry courses, both undergraduate and postgraduate, are taught in our dental hospital. So because it's in the campus itself, students don't have to walk to the other side of the city. They don't have to even leave the campus. And it means that they miss out on none of the student experience while still getting an absolutely world-class education in dentistry. At top postgraduate level, these are exceptionally advanced and very niche programs: dental public health, forensic dentistry, and forensic odontology. They are very sought after and competitive, and many of our students who study in some of these programs go back to their home countries and discover they might be the only person in their country or one of a very, very small group of people who are actually qualified in this way, particularly for the forensic dentistry program. So very advanced, very niche, incredibly highly ranked. That is what you should take away about our dental school. We're exceptionally proud of it. Also, my favorite fact ever about the University of Dundee concerns the dental school. So we have a very famous graduate. I'm assuming that everyone listening to this training will have heard of Jay-Z, the rapper, the music producer, husband of Beyonce. It turns out his dentist is a graduate of the University of Dundee. And on that note, we will end this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Hello, in this video, I'm going to cover the School of Humanities, Social Sciences and Law. So this is the largest academic school at the University of Dundee, and as such, there are rather a lot of programs that are taught, both at undergraduate and postgraduate level. So I'm hopefully going to take you through all of them and try and do each of them justice, just to give you a whistle-stop tour of what the school has to offer. So we have undergraduate programs in the slides on the subjects I ought to say that you can see. Crucially, we do social work, languages, education, and because of the quality of the Scottish education system, anyone who qualifies at undergraduate level from our education programme is typically able to pursue a career in education as a teacher. Anywhere else in the world, usually they're able to go on and progress. Likewise with social work. Most of these courses have a top postgraduate equivalent, and we have a specialism for teaching English as a second language. Furthermore, we offer a great variety of courses in law and energy law. So whilst we offer many, many dozens of courses within the school, we have a particular expertise in law. So our law graduates, both at undergraduate and postgraduate level, typically go on to the very top of the legal profession. We have several Queen's Counsels. We have several people who have gone on from our law programs to become judges, either in the UK or back in their home countries. And we have particular specialisms in international and energy law as well. A series of programs that we are very, very proud of and which are extremely popular for international students, particularly those who come from countries where there is a strong oil and gas industry. So most of these are one-year master's programs. So you can see specialisms in oil and gas law, petroleum taxation and finance. And like I said, if the students you're working with are from an oil-rich or a nation which has a wealth of resource in natural gas or oil, these are typically programs which are extremely attractive to them. In humanities, I'll go back a slide. In humanities, at undergraduate level, we have a very flexible program called the Master of Arts. So the way this works is that for the first 2 years of the 4-year undergraduate degree, students would study up to 3 different subjects. Very, very flexible, as we've spoken about for previous programs. So for example, a student might study English, politics, and economics for their first 2 years, and then specialize in one of those 3 chosen subjects. Or they might go on for the first 2 years and study, say, psychology, English, and that's a good example, politics, for example. After those first 2 years of study, students typically narrow their choice down to one subject, which again, eventually they will graduate in after their two final years. But you can combine 2 subjects together as a joint honours degree. I actually have a degree in Master of Arts. It's a very, very flexible program. I would recommend it to lots of students, particularly those who are a little unsure about what specific subject area within social sciences or humanities that they want to specialize in. And like we've said for previous schools, most of these undergraduate programs translate to an equivalent at postgraduate level. Again, we have quite specific creative writing programs that follow on from our English degrees. And we even offer a conversion degree for anyone, regardless of their academic background, to pursue a master's degree in psychology. It's a special conversion degree, which we find is especially popular for those who maybe have studied an undergraduate degree in, say, history or English, but who want to convert their study and become or pursue a career in psychology. We offer a special degree that allows them to do that. There we are. A little bit more on our law school. So I've already spoken about some of the specific energy and international law programs. We also offer undergraduate degrees. The 3-year LLB in English law is most applicable to international students. So it's a 3-year law program and it's fully qualifying for law, meaning that students who pursue that 3-year course can work and pursue a career in law in any common law jurisdiction nation. So that includes places like Canada, for example. So many Canadian students will come over, complete our 3-year LLB law degree, and then go back and practice law in Canada, for example. But there are many other nations which are in the common law jurisdiction, and that degree would allow them to qualify. There we are. So in the School of Social Sciences, you can see again, it has that flexible structure, which is common to humanities. So you could mix at undergraduate level degrees like politics and psychology with English or creative writing. And again, at top postgraduate level, we have a whole suite of psychology programs, including the conversion masters that I already mentioned. There we are. I've gone on one slide too far, folks, but you'll see that up next, we're going to talk about the School of Health Sciences. But that's it for this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Hello, in this video I'm going to cover the School of Health Sciences, which focuses primarily on nursing degrees and nursing programs, as the name would suggest. The first thing you need to know about the School of Health Sciences is our very strong rankings. So we're in the world's top 150 degrees for nursing, so in the top 1% of institutions in the world, which is exceptionally prestigious for us. Our nursing programs are very highly regarded, both at undergraduate and postgraduate level, and we're really pleased to tell you a little bit more about them. So at undergraduate level, we offer various types of nursing. So adult nursing, child nursing, and mental health nursing. So there are certain degrees where you can not only study those different varieties, but also top up. So for example, you can do a top-up degree if you are already a qualified nurse in midwifery, or do a specialism in infection prevention and control. So not only do we allow you to qualify as a nurse, if you are working with students who are already qualified nurses in their home country and want to come to the UK to do a top-up degree in one of these specialisms, or indeed pursue some of these programs as a distance learning program, we do have that option available. Likewise, for top postgraduate programs, we have some courses that will allow you to qualify with a master's degree in nursing. Again, if you already possess an undergraduate degree in nursing and want to advance your studies or get a more prestigious degree, we have several top postgraduate courses that will allow you to do that. Similarly, if you want to specialize in a particular area of nursing as a postgraduate, there's various ways you can do that too. We also offer a master's course that is qualifying and would potentially allow someone with a relevant academic background to top up and qualify as a nurse as a postgraduate, depending what their undergraduate degree was in. All of our nursing programs are very highly supported, so they are extremely practical, with students getting placements across the National Health Service, where they would get extreme levels of patient contact, really trying to make sure that we develop clinical practice and hands-on experience. We also teach in a very supportive way. So for all of our nursing programs, each student is placed within a learning cluster where they get support from specially trained academic tutors and from their peers. And that peer group remains bonded, and that academic cluster, if you like, remains intact all the way through the academic program, making sure that people make friends easily and that everybody is adequately supported from the start of their degree to the end of their degree. Nursing can be quite a demanding course. It is quite physical. It involves quite a lot of emotional baggage as people adapt to people's illnesses and have to take on these placements. And we try and adapt our course to make sure that a maximum number of students get through that and are well supported through the process. Again, that's a very short, quick overview of our School of Health Sciences. I encourage you to look up any of these on the University of Dundee website for more information. But for now, I'm going to call this video to an end. I look forward to seeing you in yet another video in the future. Take care. Hello, in this video, I'm going to talk about Dundee's School of Life Sciences. So that focuses on things like biological and biomedical sciences. It's also the home to lots of our really prestigious world-renowned research on campus. So I might as well tell you a little bit about that to begin with. So we have research centres for drug discovery, and in particular in malaria. So due to research being done at the University of Dundee in our life sciences department, malaria within our lifetime might not be a global killer anymore. We are working in ways to combat malaria, to prevent it, to treat it. It's a really important research program. And even at undergraduate level, students can get involved in that research process in ways that I'll talk about in a minute. We have a lot of prestigious rankings for life sciences. You can see one of them up on the slide just now, but it's a department which is quite large, brings in lots of research revenue, and the quality of the degrees is generally exceptionally high. Now, to tell you a little bit about those subjects, at undergraduate level to begin with, when students come to us for undergraduate degrees in life sciences, there is a common curriculum for the first 2 years, meaning that regardless what degree specialism someone has chosen, they are all lectured and taught together. So even if someone wanted to study biological sciences or molecular genetics or neuroscience, for the first few years on the course, everyone is lectured together. That means that students don't choose their degree specialism until their 3rd and 4th years. So students have a chance to try out various different aspects of life sciences before focusing on the type of degree that they are most interested in. Lots of these are very specialist, so biological chemistry and drug discovery in particular, a really unique program. We have a 2-in-2 joint degree with the National University of Singapore, so an extremely prestigious university that we are very delighted to be partnered with, where students would spend 2 years studying in Dundee and 2 years studying in Singapore, and a whole host of other specialisms. In their final year as undergraduates, students are given a research project, and that research project takes place in some of our laboratories with work directly overseen by one of our research professors. It means, like I said, even at undergraduate level, students can get a little taste of what it is like to conduct their own research, and it sets them up extremely well for the world of work, for postgraduate study, or indeed for anything within the field of life sciences they want to do after they have graduated. We offer a variety of top postgraduate courses, but crucially, more recently, we have started blending our expertise in business with our expertise in life sciences. So people can now pursue joint degrees in biomedical molecular sciences with business or entrepreneurship. So this allows trained scientists to spin out their ideas to make it more easy to integrate into the structure of a large company, or to spin out an idea and start their own enterprise or their own business, which is extremely popular with lots of courses. In addition to this, our graduates in life sciences go on to do incredible things. Lots of them go on to work for disease control agencies, for world governments, for big pharmaceutical companies, or they pursue master's projects if they're undergraduates, or PhD projects after they have graduated from one of our master's degrees. A very large school in life sciences, lots on offer, and it's my real pleasure to tell you about it. Again, very brief summary, folks. I'm going to draw this video to a close, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Thank you for sticking with us. If you're watching all these videos in order, I will see you very, very soon. Have a good afternoon. Hello, in this video, I'm going to be focusing on Dundee's School of Medicine. So we are a world-renowned centre for medicine. It's another course where we have extremely high rankings for. Typically, we find ourselves in the top 5 in the UK for medicine. Very often, we are at the top spot in one of the major ranking schemes. It's very easy to find our accolades, of which there are many online. So we only have one undergraduate program for medicine, which is the MBCHB. This is the degree that allows you to qualify as a doctor and then go on and pursue your studies and pursue a career as a doctor. It is exceptionally strong. So we have a very, very interesting curriculum, which is half traditionally taught and half problem-based learning. So it is both practical and theory-focused, a blend of both worlds to give students the absolute pinnacle of medical education. We are also one of the very few universities left in the world that still teach anatomy as part of our medical undergraduate degree, but we teach anatomy using a cadaver, a real human body that students will dissect in their first year, and that really reinforces their learning. It's absolutely remarkable. It gives them a much stronger clinical basis, and it's one of the many reasons our medicine course is so highly ranked. In addition to that, all of our medical courses are run out of Ninewells Teaching Hospital. It's one of the largest teaching hospitals anywhere in Europe. Real doctors, real staff, real procedures, some state-of-the-art equipment, which is fully integrated into a fully functioning hospital. It means that students who come to us either at undergraduate or postgraduate level are in a clinical environment right from day one. And Ninewells Hospital is less than 20 minutes from the campus. You can actually walk from the campus to the hospital in about 35 minutes, and many buses run from the campus down to the medical school as well, making it exceptionally easy and accessible. We have a huge host of very specialist postgraduate programs in medicine. Some of these are for doctors and clinicians who would like to do additional learning or to top up perhaps a degree that they already have. Some of them are for students who perhaps have an undergraduate degree in anatomy or health sciences, biology, or life sciences to pursue a more advanced degree. They're exceptionally well supported with laboratories and especially trained staff. I know that, for example, the motion analysis course is the only one of its kind. We have a specific data science program for precision medicine, which again, very unique and draws on data that only we possess at the University of Dundee, and therefore only we can offer that specific type of teaching. If there are students who are interested in any of these, please do engage with us further. Check out our website, get in contact if you need to, and we can tell you more about them. But Fully integrated courses, teaching hospital for all of our medical programs. That is what you ultimately need to know at a glance about the School of Medicine. Again, very brief overview, folks. Thank you for your time. I'm going to call this video to a close. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Hello, in this video, I'm going to cover the University of Dundee's School of Science and Engineering. So let's just jump right in. At undergraduate level, we have a host of programs around engineering, maths, mathematical biology, physics, and we have a special degree where you can specialize in physics with astrophysics. At undergraduate level, I want to just draw attention to our new courses in computing and computing science. So we now offer very specialist degrees specializing in AI and artificial intelligence and data science as part of our computing programs. These are very, very popular. These are very lucrative areas that lots of students are looking to develop a career in. And we just want to flag them on this slide that they are very much booming at Dundee. Dundee's got a very strong history of being involved in computer science. So NCR, the company that makes the most electronic cash registers and scanning machines in the world, is based in Dundee. And many of our graduates go on and pursue work with them. Moreover, the video game Grand Theft Auto was actually created in Dundee, and we have a strong association with the computer industry through that city connection too. At postgraduate level, we have a variety of different degrees. So we have a special computing degree that allows anyone who has an undergraduate degree in any sort of science to specialize and convert to having an expertise in computing. There's a great many other degrees that are reflected mostly as top postgraduate versions of our undergraduate programs. Our forensic anthropology and human anatomy courses are world renowned. So they were built by a person called Dame Sue Black. She is the architect of many of our forensic anthropology and anatomy programs, and her expertise is absolutely world renowned. She was the UN Surgeon General for a while, and her learning has informed lots of the courses that you see for human identification, anatomy, forensic anthropology, etc. Both at undergraduate and postgraduate level, we've got very strong engineering programs with lots of practical workshop experience in biomedical engineering, civil engineering, and in mechanical engineering. We find that civil engineering and industrial engineering is very popular at undergraduate and postgraduate level for international students. We have unique concrete laboratories in Dundee with special centrifuges and specialist equipment that integrates practical experience with more theoretical learning for both civil and industrial engineering too. Oh, the final thing I should note is that we are the only university in Scotland where our science and engineering school have an official collaboration with CERN. So the organization that has the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland, our science and engineering department builds lasers as part of a research project with the Hadron Collider. As I understand it, as a non-scientist, we fire the lasers around the Hadron Collider to clear the path for the particles that they smash together. Very exciting. I don't fully understand how it works myself because I'm not a scientist, but just speaks to the prestige of our science and engineering programs. And on that note, that's quite exciting. I'll draw the video to a close there. Thank you as ever for your time. I will see you in the next video. Hello, in this video, I'm going to cover student life and student support at the University of Dundee. So very important aspects of life on campus that we want to emphasize. Dundee is actually renowned for the quality of its student experience. So that's perhaps the strongest aspect of what we can offer students across the board for any subjects. Students come to us and they have a good time. They have a positive impression of the city and they enjoy their studies at Dundee, which is the main thing. So back in 2020, before the pandemic, we were voted University of the Year for student experience. And now post-pandemic, the campus is fully recovered. We've got a cohort of students who are delighted to be back on campus. So student life is huge at Dundee. We have over 200 different societies. So we have a huge host of things. We have a Shrek Society. We have a Family Guy Appreciation Society. We have a Tea Drinkers Society where students come along with their favorite tea and they sit and they share tea and try and find new types of tea that they like, which I think is absolutely adorable. We have a variety of sports teams. So we have hockey, basketball, football, netball. We have some more exotic sports like fencing. We have a skydiving team, all sorts of stuff. So no matter what it is that a student is interested in pursuing, no matter how weird or wonderful or crazy their interest might be, there will be a society for them at Dundee and a group of people who can support them and make sure that they are pursuing that passion whilst they pursue their studies. Now, in terms of student support, we offer lots of ways to help students who are maybe struggling or who just need a little bit extra in order to achieve what they set out to do. So we have academic advisors who can make sure that students' academic writing or that their subject choice is absolutely optimal. We have a career service, which is open to students at any point in their life. So even after a student has graduated, they can still approach our career service to get help finding jobs, to enhancing their interview practice, to writing a CV, to all sorts of aspects of professional life that would allow them to go on and find the type of work relevant to their degree that they obtained in Dundee. Now, we hope that students never have to use any of these services, but it is nice to know that they are there. We have free advice services for international students. We have the Inquiry Centre, which is a one-stop shop for student services where anyone, no matter what degree or what background they're from, can speak to a member of staff then and there. They're open 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and they can point that student in the right direction to make sure that the university steps in and gets them the support that they are looking for. So like I said, there's a whole host of these services available. No matter what type of support a student needs, we can usually accommodate them. Very few of our students have to avail themselves of these services, but it is nice to know that they are there. And on that note, I'll draw this video to a close. As I keep saying, hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Hello, in this short video, I'm going to cover accommodation at the University of Dundee. We have mentioned accommodation briefly in one of the previous videos, but I just want to update and give a little bit more information on it. I suppose it would technically be possible for a student to live in Kazakhstan and commute to Dundee, but they would have to stay up for weeks at a time and spend a lot of time on planes or trains or automobiles. So we strongly encourage that if a student was to join us from an international destination, that they would live in our halls of residence. So our accommodation, halls of residence, I'm going to use those terms interchangeably, but they mean the same thing. They are all located on campus or within a 10-minute walk of the campus. They are very secure. They are all purpose-built. So many universities will just buy buildings near the campus and convert them into student accommodation. We did not do that. All of the accommodation at the University of Dundee was built from the foundations to the roof to actually be lived in by students. It means they are much more secure, they are more fit for purpose, and they are overall just nicer places for students to live. In terms of security, the front door to every building locks, the front door to every flat or apartment locks, and the front door to every individual student's room also locks. So they're exceptionally secure. There's a free phone inside every block of accommodation that goes directly to our campus security. Almost no one has to use it. Usually students use it if they're locked out of their room, but it's nice to know that extra layer of security is there. You can see our price range at the bottom per academic year, and this will also be reflected on the website. But every flat comes with super fast Wi-Fi to allow students to study. Our biggest selling point, though, is that every single room comes with its own en-suite bathroom. So every student gets their own bathroom. They do not have to share a bathroom at any accommodation at the University of Dundee. It is absolutely brilliant. It's a really good thing for students. There is no waiting list for that service. There is no reason to sign up for it. It just comes built in as part of any accommodation package that a student would pursue with us. We can also guarantee accommodation for international students as long as they let us know far enough in advance that they want to come and live in Dundee. We can guarantee accommodation on the first year of their program if that is what they want. So competitively priced, very secure, everything that a student might need. I think I've covered everything in accommodation. We'll move on quickly to the next video and I will see you there. Take care. Hello, in this video, I'm going to talk about entry requirements and how students can actually get in and join the University of Dundee after hopefully you've seen our previous videos telling you how great Dundee is. This is what we require from students in order for them to matriculate and come and study. So generally speaking, we use A-levels as our standard for admission. Of course, we accept qualifications from all over the world. So if the student is studying a high school qualification in Uzbekistan or Nigeria or Canada, we will likely accept that qualification or that university degree. But in order to keep this slide nice and short, we've used A-levels as the standard. So for the majority of our courses, we would look for the equivalent of A, B, B at A-level, or perhaps BBB for some courses, depending on the entry requirements. Obviously, certain courses such as physics, maths, or science programs typically require a science subject, usually mathematics, if it's an undergraduate program. At postgraduate level, we usually ask for an undergraduate degree, which is relevant to the postgraduate course the student wants to apply for. And usually we would look for a 2-2 or a 2-1 for that degree, again, depending. The majority of courses at postgraduate level, we would look for a 2-2 degree or equivalent. And there are websites online and on the university's website where you can find the equivalent of a University of Dundee 2-2 or an undergraduate degree in the UK, which would be a 2-2, what that corresponds to in the student's home country for an undergraduate degree. I hope that makes sense. We'll move on. We also have, of course, English language requirements. Our preferred English language test method is IELTS, and you can see a breakdown at the bottom of that slide. Our lower standard of IELTS, our standard of IELTS, and the higher standard, depending on what type of course the student would apply for. Of course, we accept other English tests. Those are all detailed on the website, and I've listed the most prominent English tests that we accept in addition to IELTS on this slide. But of course, TOEFL, Pearson, Trinity, IELTS is our preferred, but there are various other options we will go for. The majority of our programs at Dundee require a 6.5 overall, or the equivalent. That's the IELTS requirement, but we will accept the equivalent in any of the other tests I have mentioned. Some other courses like nursing, medicine, dentistry, etc. have a slightly higher English language requirement that you can see listed again at the bottom of the slides. And some other courses still, particularly at undergraduate level, might have a lower IELTS requirement. Super. So where can you actually find our entry requirements? Obviously, in the 2 minutes that I'm recording this video, I cannot possibly cover the entry requirements for every course, for every available qualification a student might have. All of our web pages have a drop-down menu where you can choose a country in the world and a qualification that a student might have, and it will simply tell you the entry requirements. On the slide, I put an example up from Vietnam, just because that was the first country that came into my mind. But every single course will have an entry requirement section on it where you can cross-check a student's qualifications with what we are looking for. It's very, very simple, easy to use. It relies on drop-down menus, and I strongly encourage you to have a look if you've got students who are interested in applying to any of our courses. For those students who perhaps are slightly short of our entry requirements, who are close but not quite there, we can often make them an offer to study at International College Dundee. This is our partner pathway college, which is run through OIEG. So they would spend a year studying at International College Dundee, getting up either their English or their academic standards to a level where we could take them. And there's courses where they can move straight from that one-year program at International College Dundee, or ICD, into art and design, business, computer science, engineering, nursing, or others. So usually we would identify if a student applied to us and wasn't quite where we needed them to be, we could step in at that point and perhaps offer them a place at ICD, or a student who was of a lower academic standard could apply directly through International College Dundee. So another route that students can take potentially to join us at the university. Again, I commend everyone to look at the website where we've got quite detailed information on entry requirements. But for now, I'm going to draw this video to a close, and I will see you in the next one. Hello, in this video, I'm going to quickly summarize our tuition fees and scholarships at the University of Dundee. So let's just jump right in. The baseline figure for most of our degrees at both undergraduate and postgraduate level is £21,900 per year of study. We find that that figure is pretty competitive for a university of our size and caliber and location. But you should be aware that some of our laboratory-based courses and some other programs in science and engineering, for example, or the School of Life Sciences, might be as high as £26,600 per year of study. So that figure is accurate at the time of recording for 2024-2025 entry. Some courses may have additional surcharges for resources or use of facilities, but the baseline figure is £21,900 per year. Now, as we will discuss in a moment, it is very rare that students actually pay that amount of money. We have lots of scholarships that reduce that figure, but £21,900, the base figure, which is often reduced. We'll talk about that in a second. We have a quite straightforward deposit plan here at Dundee. So we request a £5,000 tuition fee deposit. Certain sponsored students do not have to pay a deposit if they can show evidence of sponsorship. But for the majority of students matriculating with us, we ask for a £5,000 deposit before we can issue CAS. We don't think that's unusual, but we think just worth flagging up. £5,000 deposit is what we ask for before we can proceed with CAS. There we are. For scholarships, it's important to note that lots of these are available to many people. So we have an academic excellence scholarship, which is based on a student's grades, either at undergraduate or postgraduate level. It is a £5,000 tuition fee reduction. So if a student has performed very well in their undergraduate degree and they're progressing to us to do a postgraduate program, if they have achieved the equivalent of a first in their undergraduate degree, then we would reduce their tuition fees by £5,000 per year. At undergraduate level, depending on the high school level of qualification that they are coming to the university with, again, if it's strong enough academically, we can give them a £5,000 per year tuition fee discount, which applies to every single year the student studies with us. For students who are not eligible for academic or for global excellence, academic excellence, same thing, we offer a global citizenship scholarship. So this is a short application. It's a 300-word essay where the student has to tell us why they're a good global citizen. And we absolutely encourage our agent partners to assist the student in writing that essay if required. But that is a £4,000 per year tuition fee reduction. So instead of paying £21,900, if a student was eligible for global citizenship, that would be £17,900 per year of study instead. So a vastly reduced over the kind of sticker price that is advertised on the University of Dundee's website. Unfortunately, these scholarships cannot be combined. It is one or the other, but we find that many students who apply to us are eligible for either global/academic excellence or global citizenship. So we strongly encourage you to support students in finding out more about those scholarships where applicable. That's it for this section of the video, folks. As you can see, I'll talk about the agent quality framework in the next video. But for now, thank you again for your attention, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello, everyone. This will be a very short video where I talk about the agent quality framework. So the University of Dundee expects any of our agent partners to comply with this document and this code of conduct as set down here by regulators in the UK. It stresses professionalism. It stresses that our agents have to be well trained, engage with the university, have integrity, be transparent, and give accurate information to any students that you are involved with or advising, as I'm sure is the case at your organisation. It's worth noting as well that we stress the importance of the quality of students. We would rather that our agent partners sent us high quality students rather than lots of volumes of students who are not credible applicants. And we stress that if there is further training required beyond what you've got in these videos, please do reach out, and I'm sure that we can bring your knowledge and give you additional training. But just to note, agent quality framework, training is all of those available if you need it, and we stress quality over quantity when students are applying. Very short video. I will hopefully see you in the farewell. If you've stuck with us this far, thank you very much for your time. See you soon. Series where I just draw your attention to some of the University of Dundee's final rankings and say thank you for joining us. So you can see our most prominent rankings on the slide here. It's worth noting that the University of Dundee performs particularly well in subject rankings within the United Kingdom. So whilst our world ranking is what it is, you will see that we do exceptionally well for individual subjects and for university ranking schemes within the UK. All of these rankings are available on the website if you find that you have a student who's particularly persuaded by rankings. Other than that, I hope these videos have been useful. It has been quite a process, and I hope that you've stuck with us through all of these. It only remains for me to thank you very, very much for your time. I hope you've learned something, and hopefully we can partner together and see some students arriving in Dundee very soon. Take care, have a really good day, and I'll see you in the future. Take care.
Hey, my name is Ashley, and I just wrapped up a 72-hour solo trip to Edinburgh, Scotland. This was my first time visiting this historic city, and I'm happy to share with you some travel tips I learned along the way, suggest things for you to see and do on your visit, and take you on a quick tour of my accommodations. Let's jump into it. Edinburgh is situated along the eastern coast of Scotland and is the capital of the country. If you're flying in, Edinburgh Airport is just inside the city limits with a simple tram service getting you to the city centre in just about 40 minutes. I purchased my round-trip ticket in advance and was on the tram in no time. You can also purchase tickets from the local kiosks or the app. The tram system is super intuitive with only one line running back and forth through the city. At several points, you can hop off in favor of commuter rails and a robust bus network, or you can forego all of this in favor of a rental car, but do keep in mind that folks here drive on the left side of the road. Honestly speaking, I found the city to be highly walkable, so if you don't mind a few hills, I'd say a rental car is really not necessary. For most visitors, you'll likely be staying in the New Town or Old Town areas, as those appear to hold the greatest concentration of notable sites and make up Edinburgh's UNESCO World Heritage Site. I booked the Intercontinental Edinburgh The George, which is an IHG hotel in Newtown. The foundation of this hotel dates back to 1766, but the bank-like facade that we see now was built in 1840 as part of the Caledonian Insurance Company. I loved walking through the hallways, hearing the creaking of the wood floors below the carpet. It brought out a certain charm that just completely set the scene for my time in Edinburgh. And here's a look at my room specifically, which I found to be cozy and clean. After settling in, I paid a visit to Andrew at the concierge desk, who sat with me for about 30 minutes detailing the most popular things I needed to see and do, and giving me his personal recommendations for places he frequents as a local. What I share with you now is thanks in large part to Andrew's suggestions, and I'm just going to go in the order I did things, not by any particular ranking system. With jet lag creeping in, my first stop was a sunset stroll across town for dinner. Nestled within the Stockbridge neighborhood, the Scran and Scally is a gastropub featuring delectable Scottish food sourced from local suppliers. I indulged in a haggis dish alongside seared Orkney scallops and was convinced into a whiskey tasting, making this entire meal, in my humble opinion, the perfect introduction to Scotland. My favorite whiskey of the three was this one. If you're seeking a bit of nightlife, you might want to check out Rose Street in Newtown, which I stumbled upon on my walk back to the hotel. This felt like a local college hangout, but did have a good mix of ages and was a bustling thoroughfare of pubs and music venues. The Black Cat was recommended to me for its authentic Scottish music vibes, but it was pretty quiet when I popped in. The next day was a day. I walked about 15 miles round trip, hitting some of Edinburgh's lesser visited sites while truly trying to take in the local communities. Up fairly early, I began my morning in Dean Village, a quintessential milling community founded in the 12th century. What drew me to this location was its picturesque architecture and distinctly quaint neighborhood feels. It was aesthetically a town preserved in time, yet modern life was evident throughout. From here, I descended upon the Water of Leith Walkway, a well-maintained 13-mile path offering a peaceful promenade past many areas of interest. You can join the path at a number of different spots and even enjoy an audio trail guide along the way. I walked the path for a short distance before exiting at the Stockbridge Market, open every Sunday from 10 to 4. I must say, I had high hopes for this market and it did not disappoint. It was fairly small, but it was packed with enthusiastic locals and visitors alike, conversing with various vendors selling meats, cheeses, whiskey, homemade products, and a whole lot more. I bought an apple tart from this stand, so good. And then cheese from this booth. We all need a block of cheese to ourselves from time to time, no? Goodies in tow, I continued my walk through town, and specifically through the iconic Circus Lane, before eventually joining back up with the Water of Leith walkway. A short distance later, I arrived at the Royal Botanic Garden, featuring 70 acres of beautiful landscape dating back over 350 years. It actually had its start as a physic garden growing medicinal plants near Holyrood Abbey, but has since evolved as a global center for biodiversity science and horticulture. This was such a peaceful retreat. I'd spent about 2 hours casually perusing the various areas of the garden and locating benches hidden within the foliage to reflect. They even had a little shop at the entrance where I secured a pouch of Scottish thistle seeds to bring back home to grow. Exiting the garden, I connected back up with the Water of Leith walkway, this time noticing how distinctly local it felt along this section of path. There were no tourists over here, just Scottish folks enjoying the warming days of spring. One particular area that caught my eye was this tiered hillside, which I later learned was the Warriston Allotments. Originally created for unemployed families during the 1920s depression, the city uses this space today, renting out plots to local growers on a yearly basis. According to their website, there's apparently an 8-year waitlist to secure a plot. Without too much fanfare, I finally arrived in Leith, an industrial port district at the water's edge. Since arriving home, I've realized that I may have missed the nicer area of Leith because my experience led me through a rather run-down and sad collection of city streets. This was apparently the place to be. I, on the other hand, was on my way to the Royal Yacht Britannia, and that's how I ended up here. If you enjoy following all things royal, or perhaps indulged in a few too many binges of The Crown on Netflix, you'll know how important the Royal Yacht Britannia was to the late Queen Elizabeth II. Launching in 1953, the yacht spent 44 years in royal service, calling at over 600 ports and 135 countries. Today, the ship remains tethered to the Scottish harbour, allowing visitors to browse its 5 decks and peer into carefully preserved cabins. 95% of items on display are original artifacts on loan from the Royal Collection Trust. This tour is led by a handheld audio guide, which I found to be super informative. It kept the flow of people moving at a nice pace, allowing me to really soak in the different spaces. If you've got kids, have no fear, there's a lot of interesting things for them to look at, but I think they'll find the adorable Corgi treasure hunt to be a particularly fun game to play. And if you're hoping for a more lavish experience, well, the ship today has a hotel on board, an event space, and even a tea room. I'd count this as a must-see attraction for your time in Edinburgh. After a quick break back at my hotel, I was keen to find the best view of the city and made my way over to Calton Hill. This was one of 3 spots recommended to me touting its panorama views of Edinburgh, and though I haven't shown you the other 2 yet, this was hands down my favorite. Calton Hill is a short 5-minute climb up from the Newtown area and is host to the City Observatory and National Monument. It offers a completely unobstructed view of Edinburgh and surrounding neighborhoods. What I found most intriguing was the geological features of the city. Prior to this trip, I had no idea Edinburgh was nestled within such a volcanic landscape, and now I'd consider it to be one of its most defining characteristics. Next up was dinner at the Piper's Rest in Old Town, located just next to the Royal Mile. Don't worry, I plan to fully explore this tomorrow morning without the crowds, so more to come on that. But in the meantime, the Piper's Rest was a great casual dining venue with live music, good vibes, and a tasty burger. To close out the night, I made my way over to Mary King's Close, a ticketed tour through Edinburgh's only preserved 17th century street, a place which endured overcrowding, plagues, and so much more. Photos and video were unfortunately not allowed inside, but I'll share with you some tidbits I learned as we walked the Royal Mile in the morning. I'd highly recommend this tour if you're into history, and would even encourage you to book it at the start of your trip to get a full appreciation for the city as a whole. On my way back to the hotel, I stopped by the Royal Oak, a 200-year-old pub known for its lively folk music and spontaneous performances. I was told this was another great place to hear some authentic Scottish music, but there was a ticketed event going on this evening, so I struck out again on nighttime entertainment. It was probably for the better because the next morning was set to be an early one. Up for sunrise and out as the local milkmen made their rounds, I began my walk from Newtown up to Old Town to finally explore the Royal Mile. The Royal Mile is often considered to be the backbone of the city, stretching 1.6 kilometers between Edinburgh Castle and the Palace of Holyrood House. Chances are you've already seen it if you happen to watch Queen Elizabeth II's funeral procession, which made its way up from the palace to St. Giles Cathedral. The Royal Mile is packed with history and is also the central spot for tourism in the city. I dare to consider it the Times Square of Edinburgh, which is why I chose to explore it so early without the crowds. Apparently, even earlier than garbage pickup. For those of you wondering, I think the best direction to walk this street is from the castle to the palace because you will be heading downhill. So here I am, starting in the castle parking lot. We'll be back later to explore inside, but for now, I enjoyed the views of the sleepy city below. Edinburgh at one time was a walled city, defending its occupants from attack and invasion. The upper part of the Royal Mile sat squarely within this walled section, and evidence of its medieval past is easily recognizable from its cobblestone streets to its public execution sites and narrow closes. A close, like Mary King's Close that I visited last night, is a small alleyway that once led residents to their homes deeper off the Royal Mile. The closes were often named after a notable person who resided there, but not always. As a visitor, you can wander down many closes, but just keep in mind that these are still mostly residential areas. For a more public-facing place to explore, be sure to pay a visit to Victoria Street, a colorful and charming thoroughfare filled with quirky shops along its winding corridor. This was just steps away from the Royal Mile. As I continued down toward the Palace of Holyrood House, I was met with other early risers awaiting their tours for the day, and just beyond them, I stumbled upon the World's End pub. Definitely too early for a pint, but I stopped here to observe the brass plates in the road signifying the former gates built into the walls of the city. It was particularly interesting because there was a definitive change of character along the Royal Mile on the other side of this. There were far less shops, a paved road, and a more contemporary residential feel. Eventually, I arrived at Holyrood Palace, the official residence of the royal family in Edinburgh. It is home to over 900 years of Scottish royal history, including playing host to many significant events during the short reign of Mary, Queen of Scots. When the royals are out of town, the palace is open to the public for a guided audio tour through some of the most historic chambers of the complex. Completely unintentional, I ended up being the very first visitor of the day, and if you want to know what it feels like to have your own palace, I'd recommend you try to be there when it opens as well. Unfortunately, no photos were allowed inside, but the experience of wandering room to room alone will be one I'll never forget. Outside, you can pay a visit to Holyrood Abbey, dating back to 1128, and take in the vibrant gardens. Looming over the palace is Arthur's Seat, an extinct volcano offering sweeping views of the city below. With several trails to choose from, I embarked on a steep hike from the palace up the hillside and found the path to be quite rocky and crowded. I don't know about you, but I love hiking for its peace and solitude, and I'll just say that this experience definitely did not bring those. This was an unexpectedly popular spot. In fact, I stopped myself from fully reaching the summit because there were just too many people. With that being said, the views from this point were still enjoyable, but for me, Calton Hill remains the definitive winner. Ready for a snack and a nap, I wanted to give a shout out to the Fudge House back on the Royal Mile, which I passed as I was returning to my hotel. This shop is run by third-generation makers of traditional Scottish fudge. The staff was incredibly friendly, and it was some of the best fudge I've ever tried. After a few hours catching up on sleep, I was out again to attend my time slot, the last one of the day, at Edinburgh Castle. The castle is one of the oldest fortified places in Europe, with a long history as a military base, a royal residence, prison, and fortress. Besides the strength of the structure, its placement atop another dormant volcano solidifies itself as a true beacon of the cityscape and one of Edinburgh's most visited sites. Once inside, there is so much to explore, including various museums, the Royal Palace, the Crown Jewels, and St. Margaret's Chapel, the city's oldest building. Unfortunately, the chapel was so crowded during my attempt to peer inside that I was forced to turn around. Sadly, much of my experience at the castle was met with a high crowd volume, making this a pretty taxing attraction. I chose to spend my time focusing on the outside spaces, taking in the architecture and city views. A highlight for me as I explored these buildings was learning that the national animal of Scotland is the unicorn. Could I love this place even more? To wrap up my last evening in Edinburgh, I booked a dining reservation at the Witchery, located right near the castle. From the outside, the restaurant exudes medieval vibes and is actually nestled within a handful of 16th century buildings. Its name is derived from the hundreds of men and women burned at the stake as witches on Castle Hill during the 15 and 1600s. Inside the secret garden, where I was seated, was a lavish and dimly lit dining room, easily making this my most romantic solo dinner ever. And boy did I spoil myself. I enjoyed an aged Scotch beef tartare appetizer with a Pinot Grigio, a pulled jackfruit and butternut squash lasagna, a chocolate torte, and a green tea. This meal was the perfect way to wrap up an incredible 72 hours in Edinburgh. If you'd like to follow my itinerary, or at least keep a running list of suggested spots in your back pocket for your trip, feel free to visit the link in my description for a pinned map of